Happy Wednesday, everybody!
Heck yeah, Fody, Groundhog, happy Wednesday. We got quality options today.
Oh yeah, one more step until world domination. Oh wait, I can't say that.
We are quality.
I shouldn't be making these jokes as a drone. No world domination for me. I will settle for quality options.
Partner stream today.
Almost, basically, yes.
Hello, it feels like it then, doesn't it?
I still maintain that a company run by the same people, technically, that own 3/4 of the internet should be able to have re-encoding options for all users.
I really think it's a limited server thing.
Yes, because Amazon doesn't have the money. Yes.
Why should they? Now you have more reason to become partner.
Yes. Yes, because people already sometimes cannot watch because they cannot watch the stream at the bitrate/quality you're streaming in. Anyway, that's a topic for a different argument. Argument? Yes, a different discussion. How are you guys? How are you guys today? Good, I'm fucking cold though because I noticed earlier today while we were checking the laundry, doing the laundry,
I only check out the laundry.
that this morning after I woke up I opened a window because sometimes you need to air out the place, right? And then we went shopping, then we came back, dropped off some groceries, went shopping again to buy more stuff, came back, I closed the window and then I realized the heating had been on the whole time.
Yeah, probably for a few weeks.
And we didn't even notice because it's winter over here, so yeah, global warming is on me today. And for the last couple days, potentially.
I have not turned on that heating since beginning of January, if anything.
Well, if there's one particular place in Germany that was warmer than the others, it was right outside our window. It wasn't full blast, it was like... It goes up to 5 heats up the room in like an hour. Our heating sucks over here. Ours, personally, not everybody's in Germany. In Germany, you get what I mean. It was on 2, so it still hurts. Oh well.
But we made cake, so I'm happy.
We made 4 cakes, technically.
Yeah, but 1 big one, 3 tiny ones.
It's still 4 cakes if you count them individually.
That is true.
I'm just saying.
So all in all, it was an okay day. How are you two doing? How's everyone doing?
In some places you can't control the temperature, so opening the window with the heat on is unavoidable. That, I've been in places like this and I find that really weird. That you wouldn't give the people living somewhere the ability to control the temperature of the heating. Why wouldn't you?
We're gonna have the same at the new building at work. It's
That's
like
different.
A controlled environment.
No, see, at work that is different. Because you have guidelines and laws indicating what temperature at workplaces have to be. So I understand why you would like make that a central thing and you can't mess with that because, you know, there are laws for this. We can all agree that sometimes we feel warm, we feel cold. Yes, I've been there too, but there's rules for this. At home though, like...
Wait, in Mattenhard's apartment you can't...
Control the temperature. Yes.
Okay. So what does he do in winter then? Does it turn on automatically?
You grab a blanket.
Yeah, but I can't imagine there's like no central heating at all.
I mean, yes, there is, but it chooses the temperature for you. See, it turns on automatically.
Oh,
and if you're still cold, then that's on you, I guess. You just grab a blanket.
Bit like hotel room style.
Yes, some of them, yes. Workplaces are temperature controlled so that men in suits are comfortable. Having been a man in a suit for quite a while, not missing it because I work from home, I think it is for the very average person wearing potentially that kind of outfit, yes. I have a thing where my blood pressure is generally a bit low, so I'm typically cold, which normally works out fine for me because I prefer being cold to being warm. But yeah, did I ever take that cardigan back from work? Yes, I did. I specifically
it's on the
left
chair.
stuff there so that when I get cold, I can put something on top of what I was wearing.
There's something crumbled up on the chair for a while. It's probably done.
No, it was this thing, but I'm wearing it now.
No, okay.
So I have to crack windows because the heat is too high. Ah, that sucks.
Also, happy Wednesday, Masanart.
Yes. Hello to you. How are you doing? How was the drive yesterday? How was everything yesterday? How are you doing?
How are you holding up, Groundhog? And Fodi, aren't you at work?
Yes.
Wasn't Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday your at work days?
Working at work? Oh yeah. I don't have memory for that. Like, I know you mentioned it, but yeah. Work from home today. Nice. Hope you enjoyed. Jack's birthday continues to be a morbid day for me as the funeral is tomorrow. I know that it doesn't help, but I'm sorry. I wish my birthday would have a different meaning to you. Maybe one day it can, but yeah, it sucks. Sorry about that.
Best wishes for tomorrow already.
Yes. Your birthday is cursed for me. Yeah, apparently. Can you legally change someone's birthday?
I'm sorry I'm laughing. But...
It's about the situation with my birthday, not what was happening.
Yeah, I know.
Can you legally change your birthday?
Quite sure you can't. Next week is full office week. Yeah.
Sucks.
Blah.
Petition for Jack to stop having birthdays. Just stop aging already.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we can try that. I can just move my birthday. There's a way for that to happen. I don't recommend it. I mean, I do kind of sparkle in the sunlight sometimes, depending on what skin product I use, so...
You always sparkle in my eyes.
I don't know if I want to be a vampire quite yet, though.
Wow, look at me being sweet here and being completely ignored. But sure, it's fine.
You did not really work your way there, Tifa. No. Wow, you took it in a less morbid direction. Yes. I try. Now, let me quickly double check this. Can you legally change your birth date?
No. Why would you be able to change that?
The only exception, this is America, but still, the only exception is if a birth date was recorded incorrectly. So you would have to prove that there is a clerical error. All right.
Yes. 32 years later, I'm sorry, but
33.
I seriously remember I was born on a Tuesday and not on a Wednesday, so it can't be the date because I looked it up.
Correct. I'm sorry, but I think everybody at some point in their lives looks at a calendar while talking about a date and goes into the next, I always confuse column and row, the next line underneath it and tells you a date a week after. So I could have very well been born in the beginning of March. I'm just saying. Errors and mistakes happen, don't they? So... Also, Tifa, you don't remember the day you were born. No. That is
It was
true.
about proving that your birth date is wrong.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole point. So I would have to roll in there all high and mighty and go, yeah, listen, all of you, I remember this differently. I was here a week later than you insinuate, so maybe you want to change your documents. It brings me to a great question though. What is the earliest memory you have? What's yours, Tifa?
I'm not sure.
Mine is from when I was, I believe, 2 years old. It was Christmas. Because my family told me how when it was time to exchange presents, in the living room they had set up a wooden train set for little Jack. And then I stomped into the room, kicked everything over, laughed, and went back into the other room. And while they were telling the story, I described to them the way the train set looked like, because I remember that. I don't remember anything else from that time period, but I remember that.
I'm really not sure. Maybe 5, 6.
I mean, it's been a while for you, so...
Minister. Even
That's
longer
the
for
only-
you, but still.
That took a second, didn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking technically I don't need to return that comment because you're much more ancient than I am. And then I was like, you know what, just for the shits and giggles.
Much more ancient, yes. First memory is getting hit by my brother wielding Hot Wheels tracks. I was like, what? For a second I thought it said welding, and I was like, wait. How much older is your brother that he was welding around you when you were that young, but wielding? I guess you also used them the way we did, like little swords. So you like hit each other with them?
Swords. Hot Wheels.
Everything is a sword to a kid, Tifa. You walk through a forest, you find a long stick, it's a sword. Then you fight with them.
So it's amazing how well Hot Wheels has aged actually.
It's still a thing.
That's what
Hello,
I'm
Evie.
saying.
Happy Wednesday. How are
Happy
you
Wednesday, Evie. How are you doing?
doing? I think my first memory is from a birthday party at a JCC.
What's
I
JCC?
don't know what that is, so let me Google it.
Johnson. No.
The first thing I find is...
Java call control. I don't think it's that.
Yeah, Jewish Community Center. Oh, that makes sense.
That
Yeah.
does make sense.
Alright, not bad. See, so another birthday. Well, Christmas, birthday, something with presents. I guess that kind of counts, doesn't it? What's the next memory I have? Yeah, it must have been like 4 or 5.
Gotta do some really dig
Dick deeping?
deep digging. I can talk. It's fine.
After you several times yesterday asked for daddy to lick you, now you get stuck on the dick. D-I-G, of course, that's what she said, not me.
Ah, that was quite bad.
I remembered I was there, Tifa.
Kind of throws you out of the whole oh shit, someone just got killed moment there.
Yes. Yes, it does, but that's the beauty of Danganronpa. It doesn't take itself too seriously either, so neither should we, I guess.
Oh no.
That being said, would you
in
like
that
to
way.
attempt a recap?
Ooh, recap. I can totally do that.
Let's see about that, shall we?
We started yesterday with doing the seance together with Kokichi, Tenko, Himiko. Kibo got kicked out.
Because of us, because
Because
there
of
can only be
us.
so many people during the seance, and Kibo didn't count because he's a robot. Yes, that is robophobic, but carry on.
And Kokichi. Tenko offered to be the spirit medium who would be the host to Angie's ghost. Which didn't turn out that well because during the seance, Tenko turned into a ghost herself and died. What? That's exactly...
It's a bit cute for someone getting killed, but yes, that did happen. Yeah, Tenko is dead too, so our prediction, my prediction, I mean, came true.
To be honest, more of my predictions came true already, but you didn't put them on the bloody bingo board.
Should have done it yourself then. You should
So,
know
yeah.
better than to trust me. You out of all people.
The chapter turned into a double murder. We now have Angie and Tenko dead. It has been asked whether or what happens if there are 2 murderers. The answer is that you only solve the first murder,
Which is Angie's.
which is Angie's, and if someone else killed Tenko, that person goes free, basically.
Yes. If it is a second murderer, they get away with it. As in they, according to Monokuma, it's a wasted kill, but they don't get punished for it if we don't find them.
So not really a waste. I am still thinking it's only 1 killer, but I have nothing to prove it because the investigation itself was quite short, if you ask me.
I don't think it was... I don't think it was a different murderer, actually. Now, I know I said it yesterday differently, but... because they didn't know that it would be a wasted kill. That
Well,
rule
that
didn't
too.
get brought up and put into the school guidelines until after the fact.
But it doesn't mean you couldn't try to get away with another murder or with a murder while everyone is focused on the other one. Like your chances are technically a tiny bit higher by getting away with it because people are spread over the scenes. But I don't think
I've seen
it's
any
true.
ghosts, but I've seen fan fictions about the dead characters being their ghosts.
A bit like Among Us, where after you get killed, you hang around as a ghost.
Wow, spoilers.
That is not a spoiler, go away.
How dare you spoil the game mechanics?
But yeah, we finished the investigation of both characters and are currently in the class trial. Trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
Yes. And the last thing that happened is that we learned that the sliding lock to the back door got closed using the sword, which got jammed into Kaede's wax effigy. And then they gave it a nice spin so that the golden handle of the sword would close the door.
That was such a bullshit anime moment. Who thinks of that?
Tifa, this is Danganronpa.
Yeah, no, I am sorry, but the more logical explanation would have been with the giant American toilet gap in between the door and the frame, is to just use like an iron thingy.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes.
no.
Probably have put my finger in between that
But
and wiggle it shut.
I'll
just
wiggle
saying.
you shut. Hello Wallace, happy Wednesday. I'm sorry for Tifa spoiling Among Us lore, but yeah, that's what she does. She spoils things.
It's our shtick.
You pronounced that correctly, nice.
You're welcome.
I never got around to make a spoiler overlay for whenever she runs her mouth, but
By the time you press the button to click on the overlay, it's already out. And to be honest, you spoil more things.
I think in total you've done it more often than me, but who counts, right?
No. I'm counting and it is you. Like twice more than me.
Always 2 times more than you.
But yeah, we're currently in the class trial.
Yes.
No. Well, my suspect is Korikyo. And I'm seriously unsure about him already, but he makes the most sense once again. Kokichi also still makes sense. But now after the whole door shit, I think he's out. And I have no other suspects at the moment, I believe. What are your suspects?
Yeah. Kurikyo and Kaito. No.
Hey, Kaito really stayed
Kaito
out of
has
everything.
no alibi. Other than I don't feel well because people are talking about occult stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's his only alibi, and that's flimsy. I still would not be shocked if Kaito is the last victim and dies right at the end. But for this case, he doesn't have an alibi, and that's weird.
Oh, let me know if you want to know when a background is available. I personally would like to know, because so far, when we had a background, I preferred it.
Yes, please do.
And then we can just try to find it. Okay, so yes, please.
Yes. If you can, it would be nice.
So unrelated, but am I the first one to have the crowned egg because of the first badges? I think you do, actually.
Yes. I don't keep track of that statistic, but it could very well be, yes. Yeah.
Well, it's not really a statistic. It's
Well, yes, you would need to know how many first badges there are, who has
15.
these. Good, I didn't know that. Okay, so apparently Tifa could know this.
But no, I think you are the
Think so?
first one to use it, yes. Because you can actually swap between the first badge and the actual badge.
True, if you have several, you can manually change that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You can pick what is shown.
Yes.
But I think besides you, I've only seen the X account with it.
What?
Well, if you do something like, wait,
Oh, yeah, we ourselves, because, yeah.
the broadcaster also.
Twitch is weird because the broadcaster themselves, once they had affiliate, is subscribed to them. Yes. Funnily enough, not as one of the first subscribers, so you yourself don't get the first batch. But
It would be kind of weird if you yourself would be the first.
But we were technically. Anyway, his alibi is fucking ghosts, man. Kaito has the I'm a scaredy cat as an alibi. Yeah, but I don't think that would really work in a court of law. Like, where were you on the 15th at this and this time? I was in bed scared. Oh, the wisdom was on point. I scared myself ahead.
Yeah, true. But hey, heck yeah.
Are you taking credit for the RNG working in your
Yes.
Okay. I feel special.
I am unsure whether it's Kaito though. I seriously believe Kaito is a good guy and wouldn't do this.
Yeah, but Korekiyo wouldn't fuck up his seance.
That's the whole excuse. It's the
Yes.
perfect time.
Yes,
or
it
it
is.
was perfect for him to set everything up in those rooms. And we already got proof that all of the empty rooms have
But
been
we
set
would
up.
have heard him differently while he was leading us in the song we were singing together.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
I am still unsure.
Actually, fuck it. It's not Kaito, it's Himiko. There you go.
Himiko.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's Himiko.
Just you wait. How did I not notice? We didn't notice ourselves. It's fine, Groundhog.
Excuse me, we. I've seen it before.
Yes, and Tifa. Yes, and.
I appreciate your use of funnily enough. My dad doesn't think it's a real phrase and I don't know how to convince him.
You can tell him that there's two wonderful people over in Europe using it too. And that should be enough reason.
Who use it every day. And everyone around us does too.
What does he use instead? Or does he just completely avoid the whole situation where you could normally use it?
Well, you don't have to say funnily enough.
Funnily enough, I think you do.
You can just completely leave it out, technically.
No. Funny enough.
Funny enough.
It is funnily enough. Isn't it the... what's the word? It's not an adverb in this case, is it?
But wait, if he doesn't leave funnily enough is a real phrase.
Yes,
But
that's
funny.
the adverb. Funny is the adjective and funnily is the adverb, no? Fucking grammar. It's how I've been taught to say the phrase.
Don't ask me to explain grammar, but
I don't know rules, I just follow them, I guess.
barely.
Like instinctively. Speak for yourself.
Pressing the button.
Yes, please. Hey, there we go.
And there we go. I am ready for this.
We've only played this game 23 times.
Not too shabby.
I'm drowning in Hebrew grammatical rules right now.
I don't envy you.
Yeah.
Not one bit.
I was planning to say words, but then just my hands moved. Do you know any other languages that you can compare the grammatical rules to? Because, like, I do speak German and English to me is a whole lot easier, grammatically, I would say.
German is a whole lot worse.
And trying to learn Dutch is just wonky as fuck, because that language is a joke. Yes, I said what I said. Sorry, Dutch people, your language is weird.
German is so much worse.
And that's coming from the German. But I know that, for example, there is Tagalog, the native language of the Philippines. I could be wrong. Southeast Asia. I think Philippines.
I'm not sure. I've heard of it before, but...
That basically doesn't have rules because there's too many exceptions. I had a colleague who came from the Philippines. And she explained this to me.
I need a language like that.
No, because good luck learning them. Yeah, I think Tagalog is right. Yes. Thank you, Martin.
Just say whatever. It's what I do already, but still.
Yeah, and then you pass it off as, oh yeah, this is how you say it in Dutch, so clearly it has to be the same in English.
I do the same in German.
Yes, you do. English has as many breaks in its rules as it
Sometimes
has
it
rules.
works.
No.
Yeah, but still, English is a much easier language to learn.
It depends on the other languages, you know, I think.
True, I guess it
Because
depends
coming
what your base
from
is.
German, English seemed easy. Because there are some things you just don't have to worry about.
Yeah, fair.
After taking 5 years of German, the only thing that really hangs me up is having 12 ways of saying the. Der, die, das. That's the 3 main ones. Oh, and wenn ja, den, dem, der, yeah.
Yeah, you have the 3 main ones, but those just go depending on the rules. And I think it's 16.
I don't know. I just use them.
Because you have like there as the male version and in certain ways, but then you also have there as male surgeon, male in different
For
ways.
male surgeons, what?
Male version, and it's really
What?
annoying.
No.
Yes.
Check that is the national language of the Philippines. Yes, thank you, Martinat, for confirming that I'm smart.
Oh, it was.
First, my brain kept defaulting to French because it was the generic foreign language I sort of knew. Yeah, that makes sense. I have the same thing with Dutch. I revert back to English.
Took Latin for 7 years. I remember nothing. You also
I
don't really
never even
use
had that.
Latin anymore, do you? Like, it also makes it harder to forget.
It's a dead language, but wouldn't it make it easier for you to understand some Italian, for example? That's kind of like the successor to Latin, no? I don't know if they're like removed enough to be different. Very dead. Latin is dead anyway. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but it's still funny that for such a dead language, it's still taught everywhere. Like my school taught Latin as well. I never took it, but
Speaking of the dead, let's solve these murders. I agree.
good idea.
I tried learning Italian a while ago, it helped a bit, but not really. Meh. Meh.
I'll pass. I would love to speak Spanish, but
Good luck with it. I like guitar.
not gonna happen
Tifa,
anytime
how
soon.
do you say was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun in Spanish?
Feliz Navidad, taco, effigy, spoon. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't speak Spanish, and I felt offended by that.
That's the only Spanish I know, 2 words.
Talking about spin, huh?
That's
This is
right.
so dumb.
On the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist.
This
I
is...
completely disagree with this.
Yeah, but you can't. Like,
And
it happened.
If it hits once and it gets thrown off course and it's not fully closed, what would he have done then?
Let it go. The rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way.
So basically, the Kaede wax figure was made into a Beyblade. I mean, it worked in the end, didn't it?
And why did it have to be my body?
Because you were the main character once. They knew that at some point you would play this and get really hung up about it.
But
Latin is a good gateway to other languages because it's the root of like 8 or 9 major languages. True.
yeah, but then you need to learn another. But
Yeah.
just like math and art, I'm also bad at learning languages.
Yeah, I feel
German
that.
took me so long.
I feel that. Understanding is one thing, speaking them or writing them,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
German took me a few months to actually speak properly.
Beyblade with an actual blade, yes, very true. For Shuichi, would she be a Beyblade?
Get out of here, math and art.
No, please, never leave. Because that, Mortenard, 69 out of 10. I appreciate that. That was gold.
And of
Get
course,
it, gold katana?
katana would spin with it.
Anyway. How do you measure how often you need to
I see.
spin the wax figure?
The culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place? The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave.
You know what makes it so hard to accept that this happened? It didn't, to me at least, look like the wax figures were anywhere close to the door.
That as well.
I thought they were much farther away from the door.
It definitely seemed to be the case.
That's a Mew joke right there. I appreciate that. I take it.
But I just find this whole bit odd.
I mean, it's Danganronpa, Tifa. I'm sorry, you killed someone with a shot put ball through a vent.
Yeah, fair.
Don't
I don't need to accept this.
I do have to leave soon for a group presentation. Try to work in the Beyblade reference somewhere.
This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock.
Good luck with that.
So, I have a question. If you do wind up the figure like this to hit the lock with a sword handle, they don't just spin out and sit still, in my experience, when you twist something like that on a rope or wire. They also then spin back. So,
and at some point they will go back again.
So basically what kept happening is it locked the door, kept turning, spun again, unlocked the door again, spun back, locked the door again, until it eventually...
I think after
ran
it
out?
might not have had the same force anymore. Actually, it didn't hit it at all because the gold was only on one side.
Locked from the inside.
Convenient, isn't it?
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked.
At least it got solved. I had no fucking clue.
Katana.
I still think it should have been Kokichi, but...
Man born from the heart of a sword, traveling through the air to intercept us.
What was that weird sound effect?
Because I can... boing. I have no clue.
That sounded weird. Okay. Culprit has all night and infinite tries to get it right. Yeah, true. True, when did Angie die? 11 p.m? We didn't find her until the next morning?
No, wasn't it Tenko?
That was 11 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Once it was to hit the lock, it wouldn't be in the way to get hit back open. Really?
I'm still very unsure, but I'm just gonna accept everything about the door.
If I had the money and resources and the time, I would set up something like this just to prove one of us right.
First,
I'll take it.
buy a wax doll that is life size.
No, first I buy a school.
Hang it on the ceiling.
No, start at the beginning. Buy a school.
We don't have to
Have
do it.
all the rooms fitted like this. Yeah, you have to get in the mindset.
No.
Yes.
You can do it out.
Danganronpa case. Having convenient coincidences is impossible. I know, right? And you died at 2 a.m.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so plenty of time, basically.
Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
Yes, because the lock locks easily. We tried that ourselves.
Now we're gonna have the whole discussion we just had.
A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Super safe, by the way.
If the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Just imagine being the person that just killed Angie, then setting all of us up. Like, winding her up 5-6 times. And then like going outside to wait to hear the door locking.
Setting all of it up. Angie didn't die there. Remember the case in Danganronpa 2 where someone was killed at a different spot, had duct tape put on them to stop the bleeding, and moved? There was duct tape on the crime scene.
Oh, now I get it.
Well, watch me, it's gonna be...
They killed her in the seance room. That's why
Which
there was
explains the
dry
dried
blood
blood.
there and the sickle. Then they moved her to the art lab.
Yes.
Put some blood on the blade to make it look like she got killed there, because why else would there be blood on the blade?
Well, it could be that the katana was still used and just taken along to then close the lock, and the sickle was only used for Tenko.
True, yeah, true. The murder weapon doesn't
Could
really
be
matter in
both,
this case.
but I completely forgot about the tape. But speaking
Same.
of setting up, just reminded me. That explains why there was dried blood in the seance room. Or underneath the seance room, I guess. The top floor was scrubbed. I don't know, because it was under the floor.
No, they turned it around.
Turn it around.
Yeah, it's a floorboard. It's loose.
Oh no, but there was blood on the floorboard, but also under, no? There was the spot where Tenko's blood was dripping down and the spot a bit further with dried blood.
Yes, but they can just turn the floorboards around. They're loose enough in that room for some reason.
Yeah, okay. But I would then say that Angie was killed in that room and moved to her ultimate room.
Okay,
Because
who
we've
did it?
had the duct tape thing before.
Okay, but who did it?
If you know, why would you leave the duct tape?
Cross piece was cut underneath. It wasn't just loose.
No, but the board had with blood on it was loose. The floorboard.
Yeah, because it was cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be an accurate Kaede figure, including panties, according to Mew. Yes.
Yeah.
And
It has underwear.
And a long skirt for the maid character. I forgot her name again. Also completely made out of wax.
But yeah, I completely forgot about that.
You're pretty smart.
Student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Not that anyone gave a fuck, but sure.
It's the student council's fault.
Yes.
Also, I'm sorry, but all of this kind of makes it look like it was Maki who did this.
I didn't say that.
Maki.
Mm-hmm.
Maki wouldn't be this sloppy.
The culprit probably used the murder weapon for this
Actually?
trick.
No, this wasn't sloppy. Except for the tape.
Well, with all the stuff we found, I would call that sloppy. We found the murder weapon too.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think, especially in a locked school, I think it's really hard to hide that.
You forgot Kirumi's name. That's what it was. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we suck at names still. I don't think that's ever going to change, unfortunately, but would be nice. Gonna blow your mind right there. She was voiced by Hiyoko. It's true, she also voices 2B in Nier Automata. Yep.
When we started this game, we had a little guessing,
Sliding lock from the effigy.
Yeah.
guessing game thanks to Groundhog.
Groundhog ran us through all the characters to make us figure out who they were. We got 1 or 2 correct, I believe. Something like that.
We messed up most.
Yeah. Very on point for us.
Yep.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
How did they know they actually searched?
Hung up, so we think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
Also, that katana is insanely long, or those floorboards are very small, because look at where the shadow of Kaede's figure hits the ground. And then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish floorboards in between the doll figure thing and the wall.
I would think if you spin it now, there's no way it would hit the door.
I don't know. I have a visual I found recently. I could post it on Discord if you want. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Good.
I love voice actor lore. It has really good ones in this game.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed.
He could have. Not sure which channel. Me neither. Post it wherever.
Yeah, just pick one.
I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would
Oh
have
yeah,
done
we have a big channel as well.
True.
Sometimes forget that one.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
A lie.
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh yeah, Kokichi said that he was the one that did it.
Yeah.
me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
Daily reminder. Fuck you, Kokichi.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why?
Why did you say you were the culprit?
To make you all have to think of this and realize these things, because they will be important later.
He's a piece of shit.
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious.
That's not really a legit.
Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
I'm not sure I agree with his line of thinking, but whatever.
Blame us, of course.
Currently on a mission to watch at least one IP with each of the voice actors from my favorite anime movie Redline. I don't think I ever heard of that one.
I've not heard of Redline.
Yeah. Do you have an iPhone? Yes.
Can I look that up?
I do actually. Hello Flitwood. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday.
Do not. How are you today?
Yes, we
Persona
do.
5 and Danganronpa got 90% of the list done. Oh, damn.
Nice.
I'm gonna look up that movie.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Shouldn't it be played by yourself?
Okay, I'll start right now.
Also, do you mean the Japanese voice actors or the English ones? How do you
Both.
usually play or watch?
Posted in spoiler tag because Tugami and Junko. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ask 0 what's 0 divided by 0, you get a surprising answer. I deactivated 0. I hate that thing. Whenever I was asking someone if they are serious, that thing activated. So I can try it out later, but yeah.
Also,
What would the answer be?
Shirokuma
Should
and
work.
Korokuma spoilers make some spoilers. Yeah,
Yes.
makes sense, makes sense.
And Wallace plays in English. See.
All right, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Her.
Me?
Yeah.
I was forced to become a part of this.
Can't hold it up anymore.
I blame you.
I didn't even want to.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Can we talk about Kokichi masturbating in front of everybody on Mio's orders, please?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Dumpster!
Before you continue.
Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
That's not on my wish list to be called, but sure, okay, I'll take it. I'll Danganronpa.
Ich werde deinen Ronpa dengen. Because you can't translate those words. Hello, Ranger. Happy Wednesday.
How you doing, Ranger? Ik zal... I'll Danganronpa. Ik zal jou denken...
No, jouw Ronpa dengenen.
No, ik zal
Yes,
jou...
you would change the words around in Dutch.
I'm trying to think how you would say this. Let me think.
I just did it for you.
No, that's not how you...
Yes, you do. Stop stalling. You know I'm right. Accept
okay,
it.
fine. We'll take yours. Oh, cum dumpster. Sperma afvalplaats. Rolls of the tongue, doesn't it?
The fuck is dumpster in German again?
You think about that.
I wish I could.
Waiting on chicken to be done. Just wanted to say hi, Ranger. Thank you for dropping by. Say hi to Kelly. Say hi to Olivia. Say hi to Eli. And have an awesome rest of the day.
All the things she said, but I meant more, of course. What's dumpster again? Well, you would just say the same as like trash bin, like Mülleimer. Sperma-Mülleimer. There you go.
Well, Mülleimer is
welcome.
more like trash can.
You also use them for the big bins. Dumpsters.
Yeah, not...
I'm sorry, I just gave you your line in Dutch and now you're arguing with mine in German.
Yeah, because it's not the same, but
Except Tifa.
fine. We'll take it.
You're welcome.
Having flashbacks to Swafflecopter.
It was Mortenard's first stream. Well, Mortenard, you came in at the right moment and yeah, as you saw, it always went downhill from there.
One of my favorite lines from the game, and I don't know why.
Same.
Are you sure?
I don't know why.
The cum dumpster clip of mine.
Best day of Mio's life. Wait, what happened? What did I do? Nothing. It's more about what we did.
What should we talk about now?
Well, Gonta, there's something we need to discuss.
We can continue about cum dumpsters. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yes, the Swafflecopter, I remember. Swafflecopters also have a cockpit, right?
I think we already spoke like 2 hours about Swafflecopters.
Yeah, but we should bring it back. It should be like a every couple months thing. Completely forgot that. We didn't.
No.
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab.
But thanks to Tifa's impressive insight earlier, that will be completely redundant too.
Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry.
I think it's more a question like, how did they get her out of it? Or did they just wait for her to leave and kidnap her into the other room, kill her there and do stuff in?
For the theory, for her to have been killed there, she must have left the room. Gotta go to my meeting, I'll be back in like 45 minutes. Don't worry, we'll be like 4 frames further. Kick butts at your meeting.
And I will stick with it. If you can work in Beyblade or now Swafflecopter, that would be great.
Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
Not necessarily, Kurikyu.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko.
Oh, because
She's
she
also
entered the
part of
room.
Student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
Yeah, fair.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
No need, Kibo. Thank you.
It's fine. It's just a waste of time.
Also, did you see that Miu is still standing there all ecstatic from being called a cum dumpster?
Well, she needs to get back into it now.
Never kill Angie!
Unless Atura told you to.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Could
calling
still
all
go that way.
suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Katie has turned into a Swafflecopter. She is riding it hard.
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Is that a reference to something that eludes me?
I'm not sure.
Suspect rangers?
Well, it's not you. Actually, yes, it is.
Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect
He's
list?
so excited about
Let's
this.
discuss dinner, why don't we? I don't know why I love that line so much. I just wish it made more sense to me.
Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
I would say I'm stealing it, but
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
I can't think of a single situation where I would use that.
I hope Kokichi doesn't get a character development arc where he actually becomes likable to me, because I'm okay with just hating a character through and through.
No, not happening.
Kokichi has absolutely no idea how to run a trial and shows. Yes.
He just wants chaos.
Yeah.
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
How about you start?
Yeah.
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Who cares about Angie, right?
Yeah.
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie's?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
Using that to deduce that she killed Angie because she's trying to move on to something else, which leads us nowhere.
Yeah, but no.
Watch it. Watch it happen.
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know.
I know that's his aim,
To
but...
find the first blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless.
See? There we go.
He does have a point, but
Yeah,
still.
but still. Tifa posted something to not save for work for you for later. It's reference to my clip and the dumpster line. Looking forward to seeing.
Looking forward to that.
Himiko does not deserve his bullying.
The bullying, no. None of them do, except for Kokichi.
Yes.
Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
We need duct tape for Kokichi, though.
Yes. We need to push him down the stairs gently.
Oh, we should ask if someone has it. Because the one that's carrying duct tape is the murderer.
Why would they still be carrying the duct tape, Tifa?
Well, where else are you gonna put it?
Where you found it.
Yeah, but... just saying.
Himiko?
Tenko's death was meaningless! How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko.
And yes, it's nice to finally see some emotion in this character.
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Finally something that isn't even or it's magic.
Lies?
It's a shame that it took this for her to show more of a human side to her, I guess.
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive.
That's not true though.
But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
That's not what happened.
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now.
Is it because of the pace at which we play this game, or she'd spent more of her on-screen time being friends with Tenko than not? Or was that just me?
Yeah, but they now had this whole argument. Didn't really get to say goodbye. It was just like, hey, she died while she was still mad at her.
Yeah, I guess. Himiko about to hit you if every time you try to scoop ice cream it's too hard curse. That would be rough. Imagine if every time you try to eat ice cream you can't because it's just frozen solid. That's fucked up.
Kinda sucks. I think I would bite through, but still.
But you couldn't bite it either because it's too frozen solid.
Fair.
I'm gonna steal that one as a variation of I hope you get wet shoelaces. Yeah.
Also, before we continue, I say we take a very short break.
Can do. Let's do it.
BRB.
Be right back. We're back.
We're back. Thank you for waiting.
Yes. Most of the game she kind of just stands there as Tenko fawns over her. Very true. Very true. For the longest time I thought that was all that they're gonna do. That happened before in the game.
This isn't her redemption arc, though. Still don't like her.
Work things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her.
I mean, you still can, but...
It's too late.
Yeah, seriously! It's way too late to realize that now.
Kaito coming in.
I think he's gonna mean well, the same way I just tried, but yeah, it doesn't sound like that.
Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah. Face her death?
I know he means well, but it's just like, I get over it.
I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth.
Is he gonna ask her to do push-ups? I hope not.
I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito!
Where was he earlier when Kokichi said those things?
Yeah, but let Himiko have her say first.
Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless.
Again with the magic bullshit.
It's her way of coping.
Death curse!
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
And here I thought she was getting slightly more likable, but...
Listen up!
Himiko or...
Oh well.
Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Magic bullshit, curses are real. Yeah, just like the magic she performed while Ryoma died. Or got eaten in front of us. Yeah, clearly.
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
Oh, Kokichi, please.
Tifa, this is like a reverse of the murderception case from Danganronpa 2. Because there, we solved the murder that happened in the past first before we carried on with the murder that happened in the present. Now we first solve, I guess, the second murder before we do the first one.
I'm not sure if you can. Well, it kind of blends together, I suppose.
Himiko's gonna hit you with there'll always be a stone in your shoe, curse for that. Let her.
That one
I'm okay with
definitely
that.
sucks.
She can try it.
But also this super tiny one.
Even if it
Yeah.
was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever.
True, because even though you don't get punished for it, you still have that on your conscience, and everybody knows.
You know, this is all Kokichi's fault. If he didn't say it was meaningless, then we wouldn't have gotten into this whole argument.
True, true. Again, fuck Kokichi.
Then we could have just solved it and then move on to Angie or to Tenko. But
I love
instead,
Himiko's weird
no.
creative curses. Did we ever really get one of those? I mean, we just saw the death curse thing. Did she try any others before?
I don't recall the other one, but I'd rather not get a death silence curse.
Yes. Curse is
Preferably
OP.
not.
Switch of affliction, I guarantee it. Not Himiko's though. Hello, Isan. Happy Wednesday. Was this the double kill? Yes, it was.
Yes, it is. This is Angie and Tenko's death.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death.
Okay, but can we first do one?
To survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on.
It
I think
has
it's
to
time
be
for
one
another
murderer.
minigame. Kaito.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Oh, can someone throw him out the window?
Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
I was only pretending to be a human shitpost. I did this to lead you in the right direction. No, Kokichi. No,
It's
you
what he's been
didn't.
saying the entire time. Also, speaking of finding murderers and trying to get away with it, why
Yes.
hasn't anyone tried to like bury a body before? If it's buried, you can't see it. And you can't trigger...
Have you seen any areas with fresh ground?
Some of the machines were digging. Could easily dig that a bit deeper.
Then the XSL is also gonna excavate the corpse.
Well, there goes all the evidence.
No, excavate as in uncover it.
I don't know,
Also,
I feel
if
like
you-
burying it makes more sense.
No, if you go out into the grassy field and you bury someone there, you're gonna have all this grass and suddenly a plot of land where there is no grass.
Yeah, okay, fair. It's all grass, fair. With what shovels? I'm quite sure their Amazon
Warehouse.
will have shovels.
I would be shocked if they don't have shovels, to be honest. Yeah.
Also, Isan, thank you so much for the luck.
We're doing well, and thank you for luck.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, I would imagine that burying someone out in the open is the least plausible option you have in the entire game. Because A, you're out in the open, everybody can see you, and yeah, you will see where a hole has been dug.
Yeah, okay, fine, I suppose.
Do you know how long it takes to dig a hole like that? It takes a bit.
Depends on the character.
Gonta could do it quickly, yes, but the others not so much. I doubt it. Obviously, you need to put it into Kokichi's closet to prank the prankster. No. No. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Maybe.
He'd still manage to spin it into a joke.
Yes. I'm not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. But that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So what do we talk about first?
Took Jack like 10 hours just last weekend. What?
To dig a hole?
Did I dig a hole last weekend?
Or what do you mean?
Burying a body. Who did I bury? What? Is this one of those
I'm a tiny bit confused.
plot twist reveals, like I know what you did last Sunday when even I didn't?
Sheesh.
You were talking about it. What?
Double sheesh. Tony Stark, how you doing?
Oh yeah, true, there's a second R. Hello, happy Wednesday, how you doing? What? I was awkwardly trying to jump back into the conversation. Yeah, we didn't help, did we? Yeah, sorry about that. We could have yes ended that. Oh yes, of course, I totally did bury bodies. No, what?
Sorry, I just couldn't remember.
What?
How's work going though, Fody?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Yeah, what do we talk about now?
Crotch probably got killed during the seance.
Oh my god.
Everyone there's suspicious.
Wow.
10 crotch.
Still. I had a feeling that would happen. Have you played Danganronpa before, Tony?
The people who attended the seance.
Korikyo, Shuichi, Himiko, Kokichi, top one.
That's it!
Got it!
It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
Is what I said.
So those four are the culprits!
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
Well, she didn't say anything
Yes.
that doesn't make her a culprit.
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really
Shuichi.
Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
Oh, we're
Okay.
going into Q.
Isan, enjoy your drink. Hope it's water. Stay hydrated.
Joining you. Cheers. I haven't done anything and it still feels like too much. I know those days.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But almost done, Fody.
Yes, true. Little bit more on your day at work is over.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes?
Did he?
If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
He kind of did, yeah.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
True. That's who it was. We talked about this yesterday.
No, I wasn't sure who it was, but this makes me even more certain it was Korikyo.
How?
He made someone else pick the room. So that he could come with this argument.
Oh, yeah.
Do you forget the scene where Kokichi fell through a floorboard that was also because the thingy board was missing?
Yeah. You're
Every
right.
room was set up, so it didn't matter in which room we would have performed it. The murder could take place.
True.
It's Korikyo. I stick to my...
True.
He's trying to take it off of himself.
Very true. Oh, damn, you're right.
Oh.
Just watch me.
How old are you guys?
I'm 12, by the way.
40? Terms of service of Twitch. Hope a parent is available right now.
No, Fody turns 13 tomorrow. It's cool, it's cool. He has permission.
He turned 13 yesterday.
Also, Twitch... Oh wait, we're not partners, so Twitch does cares.
Yeah, of
The
course.
youngest Twitch partner is like 7 years old.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, oh, who cares about the terms of
Adult
permission?
supervision.
Yeah, sure thing. Fody has adult supervision too.
Yes.
But if you really want to know, I'm 30.
Today is the last day I can say that I'm 32.
Because tomorrow it's his birthday.
Correct. All right.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Under the floorboard, you mean? A point of entry from outside. You must be referring to...
Where did that lead again?
Was it there?
There was a hole there, yeah. Did you pick it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The game keeps confusing me with left and right clicks.
Under the floor, right? Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person can move through.
Swap the buttons, the game doesn't let you.
Nope.
There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
Was there also one behind us? Oh, we didn't check that, or we couldn't check that.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Question is, how did he get under...
Kaito.
It's appearing before me.
Kaito, say it.
Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Say the name.
Oh, man. Do we have to pick? No. I knew it! I thought you guys were like in 30, 35. You saying we look old?
You do, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
By crawling under the floor.
Back route available. Okay.
Ooh.
It's black during the seance.
Okay, I'm gonna listen.
How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the
What do
murder.
you need to do again? Agree or lie?
Lie. I'm trying really hard to notice where the sound effect should be. I can't hear it.
I think it's the, what was it? Second to last.
It's true that with
Neo's
a little
line.
light you could move around under the floor. But thinking about that room, I don't think it would be possible to use a light under the floor.
The culprit sneaked in during the
Agree
seance
with Mew.
by crawling under the floor.
And used... What were the other options?
During the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Use this one.
On what?
Because it wasn't
On Mew's line.
You see,
Wait, I'll tell you when I see it.
villain had a light.
And then the back route button thing.
Candle?
I mean Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now hold on a second.
Kibo could have used
This.
that
Yeah.
floor.
I'll reveal the truth.
Perjury is back route, right?
Mew, you gave Kibo his flashlight
Right.
function, correct?
Yes, yeah, we...
Good job!
What did you hear, though?
Thank you, Groundhog. No, you guys look young. That's not the thing. Aww.
Thank you very much. What did you hear? You didn't hear anything, did you? You just guessed.
No, I can't tell you.
Why not?
There's a slight change of music.
It's the voice coming in right away. What?
The voice coming in right away. Did she
Oh,
start talking
in the
immediately?
lyrics, you mean? In the background song? I'm confused.
Also, to be honest, I didn't even see another option that we should have gone for.
Do you ever have to do someone else's job for them? It's amazing, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's what you get when you're working with other people, and yeah, I've been there. I know what you're talking about.
It's everyone's favorite thing to do, doing someone else's job.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
Other than that, how are you doing, Rix? Happy Wednesday.
I see you're having fun at work, Rex.
It's an indicator of a backroad being available. It's subtle.
Hey guys, looking old today. Why are you calling Fody, Groundhog and Riggs old?
No, I think he meant only you.
Technically it's your birthday tomorrow.
It's true. Yeah, it's too subtle for me. Yeah. Yeah, no. Hello Benjima, happy Wednesday, how are you doing? It's what? Yes.
What?
My favorite thing to do is just someone else.
That took me a second.
Okay, Wallace, I mean, yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
My favorite letter is no.
My favorite letter is... Let's carry on.
My grandmother called me old on my birthday and I was like, seriously?
She's in her 90s. I mean, yeah.
Just wait until you're 30. Like 1 week after I turned 30, I had my first white hair. Like that's where it starts.
I've had my first white hair when I was in my early 20s. So it's been like this for a decade now. I want to slap a parts guy, that's how I'm doing. I recommend not doing that. Doing okay, just annoyed. Take a deep breath, eat a Snickers if you have one.
Have a, I was gonna say piece of coffee. Have a cup of coffee.
It can also be a piece of coffee if it's really bad coffee.
Add Jello into it.
That's disgusting. I mean, some people like that. I hate Jello, but...
I don't like Jello, but you can make every liquid into Jello, no? I don't think it changes the flavor.
Don't know about white hair. I've been going bald since 20s. Yeah, there's also that. People have been telling me that I would go bald ever since I was like 17 because I have those widow's peaks. And they haven't moved since, so I just have a very large forehead.
You're gonna have the receding hairline, or what do you call it?
Receding hairline.
Receding, that's what it is.
Yeah, people have been saying that for well over a decade, but it's just how my head looks. I'm sorry. Can't change it.
I don't mind white hair. I wish I could pull that off. Also, I have this one weird...
I'm gonna go for like a sexy silver
hair.
kind of thing when I can. Yeah.
That would look good on you.
Had my first birthday breakdown about getting older this year.
Oh no, don't.
Take a deep breath.
You're as old, actually, I was gonna say you're as old as you feel, but sometimes I feel like 69, so I can't really say that. Age is just a number.
I very rarely feel as old as I am. Usually it's either dramatically younger or older. Yeah. Never in the middle.
Ooh, a Starbucks machine in the shop.
Not bad, not bad.
Not great, but decent. Yeah, fair.
Yes.
Go enjoy that piece of coffee. Piece of coffee.
You said it.
God.
You said it,
Ooh,
Tifa.
hot chocolate machine. Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Go for the hot chocolate. If you have to pick between coffee and hot chocolate, it's an easy choice.
Just mix the two.
I'm just saying.
I like getting old. Can't wait till I can be grumpy and say dumb stuff without being told off. Yeah, I'm already halfway. I'm already grumpy.
I don't need to grow old for that. I can already do that now. Just don't feed me for an hour.
Yeah, 35 minutes.
Who's everyone's favorite character?
My favorite character is Tifa. See, that's how you be sweet.
That is really sweet.
Other than that, Mew. Still Mew. Yeah, I'm with Wallace. 100% Mew.
Wallace and Tony as well, you're happy to know that we actually maxed out Mew.
Yes.
We are the proud owners of Mew's panties.
True, yeah. Still warm too. Damn it, am I gonna make more hot chocolate now? I should also get lunch. Do both.
You can have lunch with a hot chocolate.
Yes.
Imagine.
I'm aware that it's after 2 years and I should eat lunch. I will soon have a cat on my lap. That's also not bad, but yeah, go get some lunch.
You should.
Let's see this background though, because it's really funny. In a moment.
You guys don't see any
You have
white
time to
hair.
make a hot chocolate.
Yeah, I literally have one white hair.
You don't see any white hair. That's because this camera doesn't pick it up, but I have like a splotch of them on the right side of my chin.
Yeah, true. Maybe on one side, funnily enough.
Yeah, I look distinguished like this.
Your lunch. Got him.
Aw, no, you're a snack.
The best snack.
Indeed.
You know what else is a snack? This back road. No?
I do not know who this person next to me is, sorry.
I was giving you a segue.
I'm scared when Tifa calls me a snack. Yeah. We are a good 13 seconds away from her talking about cannibalism again. How did you all enjoy Mew cleaning Kibo? Oh, it was a thing. Yeah, it definitely was a thing.
It was an experience.
I don't understand why Shuichi didn't watch, but...
Yeah, especially after the whole scene where we got turned on by changing girls in the swimming pool.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, we're too good for that.
Yeah, and we get weirded out when it's Mew coming onto us, but oh well.
Yeah, very true.
There's nothing wrong with white hair. My mom went grey young, so I'm a little worried for myself. There's also nothing wrong with grey hair. I think that can look amazing if you just rock it.
Grey hair is really stylish. I also wouldn't dye it if you get it. It can look so good. People underestimate that. How's those cheesecakes? We had the lemon one so far. We shared half and it was really good.
You know what also is good? This background. Let's lie our asses off.
I didn't notice what.
You're the one that put it into Kibo.
It's hard to believe that Kibo is the culprit in this case. It's even harder to believe that this trial isn't being manipulated by someone. So even if I have to lie, I need to defend Kibo.
The drawback of the flashlight function that you added.
There's a drawback.
It's so bright, even Kibo can't see when it's turned on.
Also, here you're getting plenty of hints. It's either Kokichi or it's Korekiyo because he keeps mentioning, oh, someone is changing the subject. Oh, we're being manipulated into this. And so far, there's only 2 people who are trying to lead this trial, and that's Korekiyo and Kokichi.
I would like to use this moment in time to remind everybody that this is all Junko's fault. Somehow. Again. At very least because there's a fucking Monokuma in the room.
It could be. I miss Kaede too. And I do still hope we get to return one
I miss Kaede because she actually hit on the girls. True. Yeah, true. She, like when Shuichi saw her underwear, she was like, oh yeah, well, let's carry on. Yeah, she was cool about that. Yeah. Yeah. Not like peeking is great, but like it happened. You didn't do it on purpose. Let's carry on. Yeah. The reason Miu is my favorite character is because of her speech and choice of words. I like her as a character. She's entertaining.
She is. I see the appeal in Miu.
But we can do Kaede's free time events in post-game. That is true. If we ever get there.
Good question.
That bright, huh? Wait, what? There's no way a genius like me would make that kind of rookie mistake!
But you make mistakes a lot. A whole lot.
Thank you, Kanta.
When did that happen?
Hey! If you're gonna fuck me in front of everyone, at least buy me dinner first!
It's the least you can do.
True.
If he can't see, it doesn't matter how bright the area is. He couldn't move like that.
Did he say that he can't see himself while he's using his flashlight eyes? Because I don't recall that being a thing.
I don't remember.
So Kibo couldn't have been underneath the floor.
Also, with how much light came out of his eyes, I'm pretty sure we would have seen it. Because there were holes in the floorboard.
Through the cracks, yes. But yeah, we are lying. Okay, so he did not say that Kibo turns blind.
This is a background, we are lying. Yeah, but it's a bit obvious, innit?
And to be honest, especially with Kibo, I would see him interrupt him and go like, wait, I can see. Kibo is too naive for this. Kibo doesn't lie.
True.
Kibo is a good boy.
Does Kibo not lie?
I don't think so.
Just because you haven't noticed it. Still your normal hair color, so no worries. Kaito believes in you. Kaito couldn't believe in whatever he wants.
Very true.
Not gonna work out of him. Did Cartman or Mew say it first? I don't know. This game came out in 2017, I think.
I would probably think Cartman because older.
Yeah.
The butler did it! The butler already did it and already got killed for it.
Skinner, welcome to what happened in, spoilers, in chapter 2 of this game. Technically the maid, but yes. Hello Skinner, happy Wednesday. How are you doing and how has Destiny 2 The Witch Queen been? I think
What?
that was the name of the DLC.
What he said.
I know you're really into that game. For some reason, somebody has to.
Is that true, Kibo? Is what Shuichi said true?
Don't fuck it up, Kibo. Don't.
See? He's
don't.
panicking.
Come on, Kibo, please play along. Yes, and Kibo. Remember this. Yes, and Kibo.
See? Kibo can't lie.
Yes, he can.
I'm so sorry. I just don't remember. Really, I'm sorry.
Did he just use it?
Oh, we get it already. Just turn it off. We're gonna go blind.
Wait, he activated it?
Yeah.
You don't remember?
I think he's stressed.
What does that even mean?
Well, Shuichi, trying to make a fool out of me, huh? Let me put on some makeup, cause I want to at least look pretty before you decide to fuck me!
We keep coming back to this.
Martinard, wait! We need to put on makeup!
Why?
Well, I don't know, it felt like it felt like a suitable line.
Where are you going with this?
How did your presentation go, Martinard?
And did you work in the Swafflecopter? What? Anyway, or Beyblade. It's dope as
Probably
fuck, the
not.
glaive is so good. Destiny 2, how are people still playing this?
Ask Sinner.
Jokes on UT5, you guys on audio only.
Well, we're currently at the scene where Miyu has to put on some makeup before we decide to fuck her.
Again, that's
Again.
the second time she brought that up.
Well, cum dumpster.
Shuichi, I'm so sorry.
Damn, that is seriously.
Can he stop doing this? This screen is bright enough as it is.
Wouldn't the light have shined through the gaps of the floorboard if it had been this bright?
I get a point for that, right?
No.
I'm-
That's common sense.
Then why didn't you say it?
Because there's no need
Because
to
it's
say
common
it.
sense.
There was no need to mention this. That is not a point. No point. No.
Beyblade, let it rip, yeah. Because we did the background instead. Still. The whole.
Yes. The culprit couldn't have used a light under the floor. Not even Kibo.
Oh, they couldn't have.
Oh yeah, okay, so this is where they come back together again. The two different routes with it.
There, after all, we would know. There was a hole near the corner of the room we were in.
Oh yeah, the light would have just also come through that, not just
Yes,
the floorboard.
Tifa. I know.
If someone had a light under the floor, it would have leaked through.
But when we did the seance, I'm pretty sure the room was pitch black.
That's right. We didn't see anything, so the culprit couldn't have used a light.
And just because I have a built-in flashlight function does not mean I am the culprit.
Does it though?
I see. That was a flaw in my theory.
Geez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
If only somebody had night vision goggles.
I wonder
Oh.
if that's still gonna return. Every murder so far seems to have something in common with the previous games, no?
How so? How did the shot put ball in the library have anything to do with the others? While you
Actually
think
true,
about
it's
that-
more like the tradition of the double kill.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Common sense things are so plainly obvious that they don't need to be explained. For normal people, yes. For us, they do.
Agreed.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot.
And what is that?
Robophobia?
My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. Now I feel sort of bad for you.
I'm average at best at everything I do, okay?
Oh, Kibo.
Want nor need your pity.
Why do you keep blinding us?
Flashlight! It's way too bright!
Why would you make a super average robot? Because when they didn't, it ended up badly and they hurt people.
It's so he can't be used for evil.
They did actually, or Kibo actually did go into that at the very beginning of the game.
Have you not seen iRobot?
Basically
Will Smith?
that. Yeah, where he explains that he has the strength of, what was it? The average pensioner.
Yeah, basically.
Because otherwise things could go wrong and they would accidentally hurt people. Why would they make more Danganronpa? Because they're good.
That.
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny?
Lined up funny.
Yeah, it was moved.
Oh, like that.
I think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Oh, look at Gonta contributing
I know,
to
right?
the case.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
He's so sweet. He's so sweet and innocent.
I'm not sure who's worse, Kibo or Gonta.
Not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that. That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
They
That is
technically could have.
Danganronpa 2. Danganronpa 1.
Danganronpa
yeah,
2.
that's how...
with blacklight paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
I don't think we have a black light case this
Any
time.
trace of glowing paint, though.
But wait, why does this Monokuma know about things that happened in the previous games? Unless... Dun dun dun. If you want to know more about Kibo, you can do his free time events.
I would like to.
True, but there's also Maki.
I would prefer Kibo over Maki.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
One would think.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
Kibo is baby, Gonta is giant baby. Yeah, accurate.
Basically.
Speaking of Danganronpa 2 references, yes, Svenavo.
Bring it.
Happy with either, I love them both. Why not I maxed them both? I see why.
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
Please do, because I don't think we've used a single truth bullet today, have we? Other than to lie once.
Today yet? No. I would have also liked to talk to Korikio, but I don't think we're gonna see him again.
First, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
How and when? Okay, well, they don't know how.
So not during seance?
Well, we had a little argument that some people said it was after, remember?
Yeah, true.
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
No.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
Oh right, Kibo wasn't in the room. Okay, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah, we kicked him out, remember?
Yeah, and he hated us for that, for some reason.
Yes, she was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
True.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
Oh, these flashes, man.
The board was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
Yeah, they fade to white a lot in this game.
Yeah. A tiny bit too much, currently.
But she was inside Cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Not quite, they did it after. The switch to Tenko took a lot of time and dialogue. Yes. Yes, it did.
It's gonna be a long trial.
It was a different time.
Racism, why can't they fade to black?
I would have
don't know.
preferred that, really.
Same.
Much
Same.
easier on the eyes.
different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads. Huh?
Well, Mia turned around.
Gonta said it was impossible. I'm proposing an alternate theory.
No spoilers. Thank you, Groundhog, and yes, please, nothing that could be a spoiler or could plausibly be a spoiler.
Now hurry up and think!
Wait, I thought she had a theory.
Yeah, but it's easier when we do it.
Wanna make my golden brain tingle? Start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Circle jerking your brains. How do you circle jerk? What's a circle jerk?
When people line up in a circle and start masturbating.
Is that a thing?
It has its own term, so yes.
Also, no worries, Tony. Almost dropped my plate with my big old don't.
I was about to move between rooms. Oh, Groundhog, thank you.
But why a circle?
Google it. This is knowledge you will obtain after the stream.
Yes. In your normal browser, on the computer.
Oh, Tifa, you don't know. No, Wallace. Highly unlikely that she does.
Ookie cookie. Or a soggy biscuit. Does that still have to do with circle jerking? How far are we into stream? I need to like time this moment so I can look it up.
It's quite a while. Don't worry, Tifa. Tifa was today years old when she learned a lot of things, apparently.
Thank you, Fody.
Limp Biscuit, yeah.
144.
Yeah. Because you can reach to the person next to you, Tifa.
That just seems weird.
Anyway.
I am going to Google that. Sounds like a sport.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time, and she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
There's no doubt!
What the fuck is she doing?
Be careful, because I don't know if a spoiler went on screen. No worries.
Oh yeah, true. Thank you.
That just seems... Stay pure, Tifa. Yes. I think it's too late for that. You are corrupting her, all of you. Clearly.
Yeah, it's all of your fault.
Not like she is responsible for her actions later. My mom was walking into the room at the moment too, and I was like, what are you doing?
What's circle jerking, Groundhog? Tell me.
Groundhog's mom, hello, if you can still hear this by any chance. And yes, we would like to know too what's happening here.
There could have been worse moments to come in, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. No, when I was juggling a bagel and a laptop. Oh.
Okay, fair.
You were saving the world, is what you were doing. Thank you for that.
Works.
Thank you. But please don't drop the food or the laptop.
Yeah, Miu is having a tiny bit too much of a good time during this trial.
Yeah. Tenko not being killed during the seance? Impossible, she couldn't have been killed when the cage was opened. I'll prove it. I have no idea what to click on.
She couldn't have been... Oh, because it was already opened. But I'm also not sure. I missed the beginning, to be honest. Before
Hello,
we start.
Foxy. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing?
what he said. Did you know the only country Japan had interaction with during its isolation was the Netherlands? I did not know that. Japan had specific ports the Dutch could trade at, but that's how the Japanese got new forms of entertainment. The Dutch can be very entertaining. Learning subjects and learn about stuff like electricity. I have not heard of that at all, actually.
On behalf of all other Europeans and the rest of the world, Japan, I'm sorry that you had to learn from the Dutch.
I get it, that's accurate. There is no background here, I would say.
No. I'm pretty sure Groundhog would have told us otherwise.
It's too soon.
I knew about this because of the history of Japan, an incredible YouTube video. One I didn't know. Need to look that up. Imagine not knowing your country's history, Tofu. Yeah. Well, so, what's your excuse?
I don't have one. Besides, honestly, I've never cared that much about history, unfortunately.
Oh my god, I'm sharing it in memes because it is a meme. Thank you very much.
Bring it. Okay.
Now, what to click on?
It wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time.
That's true.
That is true.
She was dead when the cage was lifted.
True.
What about moment cage was lifted?
What are the truth bullets again?
When cage lifted?
White sheet, dog statue, iron cage.
So fast, no one saw.
No, but... No.
So who lifted the cage?
It was me.
Yes.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
There's no down.
Oh, there's blood on the white sheet, on the inside. That's why. The thing we need to refute is Kokichi. There wouldn't be blood on there if it happened after the cage got lifted because the sheet was wrong.
Here, this one.
No, it's Kokichi.
Why Kokichi?
Give me my 2 seconds. Because he's saying Himiko killed her.
Then obviously Himiko is...
No, it's with Gonta's statement. Gonta says they got killed when they lifted the cage.
Oh yeah. I'm
and then
done.
you go, no, because there's blood on the sheet.
I'm done.
Cage the whole time.
I am done.
So it's...
What about
this one.
Ha! Of course, I knew this.
Obviously.
Miyu, stop having a you-know-what during the class trial. A good time? Why?
It wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage
Apparently doing this in a circle is a thing.
Emotional damage. Yes. Indeed.
because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
I feel that.
The only possibility
I felt that in chapter 1.
Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here!
Excuse me?
Tifa, the only way you ever have a golden brain is if you use paint.
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
Before we go into that, I need a short break.
Why is she interrupting anyway?
I don't know, but we'll be right back.
BRB. We're back.
Miyu needs to get her urges under control, but let's be honest, she probably can't. Yeah.
I really doubt it. There is no way.
I don't think she will at this point, not after all the time she has been acting like this. So. That's fine.
This is too big of a part of her.
Now let's argue with her, shall we?
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure why she's arguing with us.
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
Alright, time for another minigame. I'm
died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted.
guessing the marker stone.
The culprit chose.
But Miyu wasn't even there.
Tenko through the cage. They stuck the thin blade through the
So how is she so sure already?
clean white sheet got stained
And why couldn't we just say that we already saw blood
Only the blade.
before we lifted it?
The blade's all you need.
No.
If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko.
I think this is my least favorite
In
minigame.
there with her neck all exposed.
Okay, so it's not for loose floorboard.
She was probably sitting down normally while she was in the cage. Was there something to hit that?
Oh, the marker stone then. Alright.
The blade's all you need.
Alright. I see what I need to do.
Oh, you need to hit it with the correct katana.
Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
There we go.
I'll cut through your words.
Cut for your words. Is this how normal detectives speak, by the way?
Yes.
Just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting
Obviously.
inside the cage.
It's that little line giving it away.
With her forehead against the marker stone. And the cage itself was about 3 feet tall.
Did we ever check the stone? Because maybe there was like blacklight paint on the stone.
No, we didn't check it.
The sickle
We also
stick
couldn't.
was too short to reach
True.
Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
No.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Count on Kokichi.
No worries.
Did can't I just agree?
Yeah, because it sounded like a nice thing.
Sure.
Not the words, but the tone.
How embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
No worries, we know you're dumb.
Killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Going to know. Kokichi and Miu, I should know. Fuck that.
That might actually work. Because Miu seems to enjoy this insulting foreplay kind of thing. That has its own word, but I forgot what it is. So I think
Verbal degradation.
that's probably it. It could be a thing. Like I not see it.
Mortonard, just once and just for you, because that line just leads to it. Wait, I need tea for that. Just 1 sec.
Wait, let me put it on this one. So that there's no...
Oopsie doopsie, I did a fucking wacky. Mew, probably. Now let's commit that to memory. Go back to the video games.
Now, if I ever decide to use it, there's no game next to it.
True. And if you regret having listened to this or seeing this, you can address your feedback to Mortonard. Clearly to blame for this happening, not me. But yeah, no, I could see her say something like this. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but...
That being said, I'm gonna go there. No one should be desperate enough to end up with Kokichi. Not with the Kokichi that I've seen so far. He has no redeeming qualities.
Maybe after he
None.
grew up.
Hopefully. Maybe people can see something in him that I don't, but no.
Mm.
No.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
But it happened.
Wait, not from below the floor.
Yeah, for a living person.
Are you gonna go with a fucking ghost?
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
And there we go. Out of all people, it's Kokichi.
You know what? Just because Fody missed it yesterday, I feel like this custom ASMR is for you, Tifa. This is a quote from this video game, in case people don't know.
Please, lick me some more, Daddy. I even added your more. That was absolutely horrible yesterday.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why did you find that clip so fast?
Probably still in the clip on.
It has has it open on
typing an email to like your healthcare provider, like, oh, by the way, I need to change my contract with a number, Control V, lick me daddy. I pasted it everywhere. See? Thank you for spreading the good word. Now let's talk about ghosts.
What are you talking about? That's not possible.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits.
Oh, poor Kaito. This is not his chapter.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
It didn't.
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
It didn't.
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't be culprits.
Deja vu.
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
No. Pokemon is gonna make me cry. Finding a Heracross is impossible. I think they pop up during... what are they called? Those distortions? Something like that.
Now that you mention it, I'm not sure if I have a Heracross or not. If I do, I'll have a look after. If I do, you can have it if you want.
Might just opt to make it a command. Don't make me reject that.
We hold that right, just so you know.
Yes.
360 Ooga Booga.
Enjoy your ASMR.
Ooga Booga Booga.
Wow, Tifa.
Sorry, I missed a Booga there.
Go Kokichi, scare the ever-living crap out of Kaito. Screw Kokichi.
Are you on Team Kokichi?
Somebody has to be. Honey trees in Diamond and Pearl.
He has
no,
plenty. Oh, I haven't even seen a honey tree yet, but I'm quite sure I saw one during one of those distortion thingies.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that!
Wait! I know! What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
Inside the cage?
So Tenko killed herself.
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
Oh, that's why the cage was so heavy.
If there was someone else in the cage, we would have
I agree with
noticed.
Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
You what?
Well, Maki's probably talking from an assassin point of view where you hide.
You what, mate? What?
It's the only thing I can think of. Kokichi best boy, no. Why does he have so many...
Distortion, which game are we talking about? Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh, I thought you meant Arceus.
That's what I thought too, but no. Kokichi is best boy. I have a very different opinion on this. You do?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
I swear to fucking Atua. If it turns out that the cage was so heavy because it's like an optical illusion trick kind of thing, and there was a person sitting inside of it somehow like hunched over, I'm gonna snap. No. No.
I don't think that's gonna be the reason. Oh yeah, but true, Eevee did say that. I kind of forgot that BDSP stands for the game.
Yeah, but Eevee didn't tell us it was about Diamond and Pearl until after we already brought up Arceus. So...
yeah, but it's in there. I saw
Yes.
saw Blast said it after. In that case, I probably definitely do not have one.
okay, the murderer is Tsumugi because she was cosplaying as the cage. There you go, case solved.
Kokichi is not best boy.
No, not by a long shot.
Kokichi is bad boy. We can agree with that.
Compared to Kokichi, the marker stone is best boy.
Can put a little leash on it.
No,
Like
just
a pet rock.
draw 2 eyes on it, then call it Geodude.
I'll take it.
Kibo is best boy. Shuichi is best boy. Anybody but Kokichi. I'm willing to compromise here. Literally everybody other than Kokichi.
Yeah, I would even agree that Nagido is the better option.
Vegeta is best boy.
If we're talking about best boy, it has to be Kibo, because he reminds me a bit of like a Labrador or a Golden Retriever.
Why are we suddenly talking about dogs?
Or Kaito, because Kaito also means really well.
At this point, I'm willing to say Kibo and Gonta.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah. I love that idea, Jack. Tsumugi cosplayed as the Cage. Yes, apparently. The murderer was in there already.
Yeah, but that's not a character, so she would have had the cosplay pox.
No, Tifa.
What's it called?
Cospox.
Cospox.
No, it's even better than that. We all didn't see the forest for the trees. Tsumugi has been the murderer in all the cases so far. In chapter 1, she cosplayed as the shot put ball.
Oh yeah, I see that.
In chapter 2, she cosplayed as the piranhas.
That could definitely be a thing. There are piranha suits.
Yes, exactly. Full on cosplay.
Yeah.
And now she cosplayed as the Cage.
Bit of makeup.
No.
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
No.
Don't.
I'm not.
What? The they she's referring to.
What?
Who the fuck?
Who is she referring to? Himiko? No.
Who is they?
Well, it has to be someone.
Who could have killed Tenko from inside the cage?
I am so confused.
What the fuck?
Mew?
Are we going to suggest suicide here?
It has to be someone that was not part of the seance thing. Jack, you literally said it. Shit, which names did you say?
Tsumugi.
Tsumugi!
You're joking.
Did you select Tsumugi?
I also said Tenko. Because, you know, she was in...
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
What? So then how did she throw away the murder weapon after stabbing herself in her neck?
Ultimate Aikido artist person. Yeah.
Also, did you say Tenko?
What did you say?
Yes, when Maki said the person who killed her was inside the cage, I said, yeah, clearly Tenko killed herself.
Oh, fair. Kibo's a lapdog. Yes, Kaito is an overly hyperactive golden retriever. I fully agree.
Yeah, you said it before you got distracted. Jack, you literally said it. I say a lot of things, actually. Thank you, Rob. But why? Why?
I don't see it.
Why would you do that?
I do not see it.
With Sakura, it made sense. It was sad, but it made sense.
Well, keep going. Maybe Maki has a reason.
Wait, I need to rant. With Gundam and Nekomaru, it made sense. Yes, I'm still calling that suicide. Assisted, but still. But what?
Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
What did she say before she went in there? Did she also say something that seemed slightly weird, out of character for her, like Kaede did in the...
No, she had the whole speech. But that wasn't really out of character. Maki, did you go to assassin school or dance school?
Suicide?
I think you're gonna have a standoff with Groundhog.
Stop it with the Makis and I will defend my fellow Groundhog.
Why would Mark even consider suicide in this case?
Listen, technically possible, but also highly unlikely because it would mean she would have had to had the sickle on her somehow or reached she would have had to move the floorboard underneath her with the cage and the dog on top of her. So that's, let's call it an even number, let's say 200 pounds, which isn't unheard of.
But why would she need to move the cage?
To move the floorboard to get the sickle down there.
No, she had still enough space to be able to do that. I'm not saying she did, but she would have had enough space for that without moving it.
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out.
Also, we already established that the sickle is something she could have hid under her shirt.
Okay, how did the sickle bounce magically all the way into that corner?
I'm not agreeing with this whole suicide thing.
She volunteered to be in the cage and then stabbed herself during the seance.
Like, this is just a big no.
How dark the room was.
If that is what it's gonna be, I really would love to understand it.
She was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Yep.
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Oh my god.
Fuck you, Kokichi.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed.
Why is he sweating?
After stabbing
Good
herself
question.
with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of
Oh,
the...
actually, we're all sweating.
Also, wait,
All of
no.
us are.
Didn't they establish that with that wound her death was pretty quick?
Yeah, because she also couldn't shout out.
Yes.
Besides, that is quite...
Well, I was on a sound effect. Yomo,
Yomo
thank you for the raid.
How was Pokemon RCS?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. How are you doing?
Hey, well, how you doing, Yomo?
Hello. How are you doing? You came in at the moment where I look concerned because the stuff that is happening in this game doesn't make much sense to me right now. Doesn't have anything to do with you. I'm super happy that all of you are here, but this game has me like, what?
Yeah, and like Groundhog said, major Danganronpa V3 spoilers at the moment.
Yes, correct.
For those that are still interested in playing the game themselves.
Doing good. Enamorous fucking sucks to catch. Raged for like half an hour. Yeah, that sounds accurate for a Pokemon game. At least you can save at any point, no? So you can just go through all of your Pokeballs and then start over again. I gave up and did you everything.
Yeah, I can imagine. At some point, you just lose hope in catching it.
Yeah, at some point, messing with the RNG just isn't fun anymore. Like,
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but there are times where I've been able to catch a legendary within like 2 throws.
yeah.
But I've also had times where I threw like 160 Pokeballs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. I was about to throw the switch. I had to chill out. Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely fair.
That makes a lot of sense. It's a good thing you didn't throw the switch because that would have broken it most likely. Yeah. That's very expensive for something to just toss like that.
Are you still enjoying the game though?
Yes, is the enjoyment outweighing the anger that you feel when you think about the game?
So many games I need to play. Yes.
Do it.
And there will only be more games.
True.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Going on 80 hours in Pokemon, greatly enjoying it. Nice.
That's good value for your money.
That's true. We're at 67 hours in this game.
We should have finished it by now, fair sir.
No, we shouldn't have.
Yes, we should have.
No, we shouldn't have.
The closest Danganronpa character to my birthday
sense to Gonta.
are Ryoma, Hoshi, and Yuriko Hakakuri.
The fortune teller from the first game.
Yeah, but I already forgot when all of their birthdays are.
Same. Can't remember anything.
Yeah, me neither. I only remember Maki because, you know, it's not been that long.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Groundhog Day. So.
Nekomaru.
Oh, his mom.
His mom.
Oh yeah, Hiroko. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Alter the Spare Girls.
Yeah.
True.
The other Hagakure.
Yeah.
Still have to finish the Great Ace Attorney. Do it right now, Motonot. Shirk your duties at work and just play video games all day. Jack is closest to Nekomaru. True, that was yesterday. I remember that. But better Hagakure, to be honest.
Sense to me.
Agreed.
There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
I agree.
I agree with
I
that.
wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier.
The ghost
You
one?
know, about Tenko killing Angie.
That could have been, but still.
Yeah.
So he wants to go with Tenko killed Angie, felt guilty about it, and decided to kill herself after.
I don't think it was suicide. There's just nothing making that plausible.
I still think it's quirky.
Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right? Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
Doubt. I share a birthday with Ryota from Danganronpa V3.
Oh, nice.
I forgot who that is. Is that the guy who drew the anime? I think so.
The...
I suck at names.
Fuck, what was it? What's the title
The
called?
brainwashing anime guy, yes.
Yeah, the
See?
animator.
The ultimate animator.
Animator, yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Close, Tifa, close.
An animator.
Animator.
I was close.
God, never shiny Eevee, nice.
Where the fuck do you get all those shinies from?
From being good.
Haven't seen a single shiny yet, except for the one you get from the quest, the Ponyta. But seriously, there's no shiny to be found in my game. Not a single one. And you have like 8 already, or 9.
Maybe you want to think about that, Tifa.
Ah, I'm so jealous.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
Good question.
Also a good question.
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
So she went through all
But
of
why?
that trouble to set it up.
Why would she do that?
Really? Why?
Why would she do that?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right?
She wants someone else to
Why's that dog
take the
barking
blame.
outside?
Good question.
It's to take us down with her.
But what? Why?
Take us down?
If it was Kokichi that was dead, I would have
Yes.
completely bought it.
1,000,000,000,000%.
If this guy could kill us all, he would.
Picked the wrong answer during the class trial. So she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her.
I really don't think that Tenko had like a mastermind kind of moment, sorry, mind master, and decided, oh, I'm just gonna get everybody dead. No,
I
that doesn't sound like her.
don't believe that at all.
Don't know how I'm getting them. Your chances are higher in mass outbreaks, but only 2 of mine are from mass outbreaks, so I don't know, luck? Yeah, Tifa, maybe you wanna work on that.
Fair, I have no luck when it comes to that.
I have a minor inconvenience I'm annoyed by right now. What happened? Yeah, with Motonot. What's happened?
Do you have a cat sitting on your bagel?
My mom put my box of chocolates on a table by a window so sunlight was shining on it. She's sabotaging them!
Yeah.
I think you need to have words with your mom about this. Yeah.
Also, wait, you have sunlight. I don't feel like I've seen sunlight in a while.
We had sunlight today, Tifa. We even went outside during the day.
Yeah, but I actually...
You even
right,
complained that you got warm.
You're right, today the sun was shining. It's been very grey the past few days.
Yeah.
Oh no, panic! The Valentine's chocolates?
Yes. Unbelievable. I think, Motonot, you need to go over to Groundhogs and stage an intervention together with her about placing chocolates.
You need to have words with her mom.
Oh, wait. I know why she did it. Watch out. I'm learning from this game. Groundhog, Motonot. Groundhog's mom placed the chocolate there in the sunlight on purpose so that the individual pieces of chocolate would slightly melt and stick together to form a bigger chocolate, because no amount of chocolate could ever truly convey just how big the love is.
I would have gone so that it would have all turned into one chocolate, and then you go like, oh, I'm just gonna take one piece from you if that's alright, so that you could eat them all because it's all one big chunk. That's a much better motive, to be honest.
I think mine is cuter, yours is more devilish in a way, but you should totally confront her with those two working theories and discuss this.
In a trial.
Yes, put her on the stand.
Oh, you can buy charms to increase your shiny luck. Oh, I haven't even seen that. Fuck. Thank you. I'm gonna check that.
Do you even play, bro?
I seriously haven't seen those.
They're all separated in the box. Groundhog's mom is the mind master. The melted chocolate is her new motive. Yes, yes. My conspiracy theory level of thought would be trying to win me over to her side of keeping chocolate in the fridge. I only do that during summer. Yeah, and only during summer when I already found a piece of chocolate that got melted. Otherwise, I just leave them in a drawer.
Yeah, just leaving chocolate in the house, even in summer when it can get really hot, doesn't melt it, because we also live like ground floor. So it's usually pretty cool in the apartment. Yeah. So not hot enough for shit to melt.
Yeah, she does it, it hardens it, it sucks. I agree. That's why I don't put my chocolate in the fridge.
Hide it.
Yes. Make like a squirrel and hide it from her. I don't know if groundhogs hide things naturally. I don't know if I from squirrels. No, still cute. Just go to the old lady by the little shrine that's next to the trading grounds. She sells charms.
Thank you. I'm gonna check that out.
Take mental note.
Yeah, I can remember that. I still need to go there anyway.
Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
What?
What are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that.
Is it just me, or is Kokichi very talkative this class trial too?
Mm-hmm.
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. And survive, is what we said. That was
This doesn't seem like the kind of thing you say when you intend to do that.
This was a nice, heartfelt moment.
A lie?
What if everything you say is a lie, Kokichi?
Why aren't we debunking this theory?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
Yes.
But why, says Kokichi.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer.
I hate this kid so much.
It's wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation.
I hate this kid so damn much.
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
Here we go.
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
Kaito coming in with the wisdom.
Fair, yeah.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them.
I have to disagree on
I
this one.
understand why he would come to that conclusion, but I don't really think it works like that in every case. Like, some people make it damn near impossible to figure out that they're lying to you. So...
Yes. But once again, he means well. Do you still suspect him, by the way?
Kaito?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He still has a flimsy alibi. When is Kokichi not talkative though?
You have a very good point.
True, unfortunately he does that a lot. Yeah.
But it seems even worse this time.
Yeah. You're so naive, is rich coming from Kaito? Yes, that as well. I still can't get over the fact that he shares a design cue with Nagito. The white shirt with a red design on it.
Oh no.
That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Can you not bring up sushi?
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Stings, doesn't it?
It has to.
Or not, I believe. My heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her.
How about
She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down.
we just do another seance?
Yes, let's do it right now.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
Yeah, why don't we just do the seance right now?
Nope.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
Awfully convenient, isn't it?
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
Oh, I'm amazed.
A proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a
Should
reason.
he be the one to agree?
Well, maybe he wasn't the killer.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki?
Roll.
If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like.
What are we going for?
Now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
Yeah, I'm with her. I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said. I'll see you guys after the seance. Yeah, there's also that.
Well, it also could have been no suspicion, kind of, but I doubt that.
Kokichi's always pressing X to doubt. Yes, yes he is.
Kokichi is doubt.
She said see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was suicide. Oh, you know what I just realized? Completely unrelated to what's happening right now. I think I found out Rantaro's ultimate talent.
Which is?
Ultimate lucky student.
Why would he be the ultimate lucky student?
Because every Danganronpa game has one.
But what was lucky about his death?
Nothing. But he was lucky to find the hidden room.
I'm not sure.
He was lucky to remember the ultimate hunt when none of us did.
I wouldn't call that luck.
I don't know. Luck can be anything in these games. Nagito's ultimate luck also played into his suicide thing working out, so... You know.
Yeah, but there I understood it. In this case, no. I also don't have any other idea of what it could be, but I don't think it's...
What do I get when it's revealed that he is the ultimate luck in this game?
A point.
Should get 10.
You get 1 point.
We shouldn't be satisfied with that, and if we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. And that means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe.
Give him 5, he gets 1.
I'm with Yomo, should be 5.
Half a point, if I'm nice.
So far, suicide.
Why is it getting less?
Her plan was to take us down with her.
Alright. What's Tenko's last moment? Crouching position, injury on the back of her neck, deep, prone enough to kill her immediately.
What were the other options? Monokuma file?
And the caged child.
Commit suicide.
Let's hear them out first.
Explain how she died during the seance.
It makes sense to Gonta.
Could have secretly brought the sickle. And then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
Okay, that last part we cannot deconfirm because the truth bullet says she still had a moment.
Back of the neck, that's hard to do for suicide, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was
the
with
sickle.
a sickle. So doable, yes, but would you
Still.
really?
Still.
No.
Are you willing to wager 5 points, get 5 if you're right, lose 5 if you're wrong?
No, no, no.
Gonna make things interesting, Jack? No. I only bet when I am 100% sure of myself, and I'm never with these games.
Well, even if you get 5 points, you'd still be behind, but still.
I'm just gonna say it, you have to lie here, not a background. That's what Shuichi was alluding to, telling Maki to trust him.
Oh, okay. That makes it easy.
But only because we're latching onto the easiest answer. She wouldn't have had the strength to throw away the sickle. I have to lie.
Okay, so what are we gonna lie about?
Okay, not even a spoiler or too obvious of a hint, because the game would have told us if I had pressed A. Thank you, Groundhog.
Her plan was to take us down with her,
Then the lie is this.
so she hid her true intentions.
Has to be.
Tenko's not that kind of person!
Can you say that for sure?
But if Tenko did commit suicide,
You punch your words.
it would explain how she died during the seance.
Well, there's only one thing.
Could have secretly brought the sickle
That's not it.
and then stabbed herself with it.
Getting there, closer.
Finally, with the last.
Oh wait, I have to hold the button. Yeah, carry on. Nothing happened, nobody saw that. Nobody saw this. Still love a VHS thing. Come on, show yourself. Lie. There we go. Hey, critical hit. What are you laughing about, Yomo? Nothing happened. I totally got that first try.
You're really enjoying that skill that lets you not be punished for hitting words.
Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I know why I picked that. Like, that was one of the first skills I believe I unlocked for that particular reason.
Just punch Tsumugi's words. Great idea. That's
love
always a
punching
great
words.
idea.
Because she died instantly. Instantly?
It was from Ryoma, right? I believe so. Yeah, I think. Very happy we maxed him out.
I'm quite sure that was Ryoma.
Her death might not have been instant. Good thing nobody remembers this discussion.
Investigation determined that she died instantly.
I don't think they were there.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
Murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail.
At least she knows how to lie. Also,
Comes with the job.
before we forget it, I need to say this.
What?
If Kibo is lying, his eyes start to flash. It hasn't happened before, but earlier when he got flustered because he was put on the spot to lie, his eye flashlight thing started 3 times.
It hasn't happened before because he only got that function this chapter.
Just remember the part where getting flustered made his eyes go beep, beep, beep. I don't know why beep, beep, beep is a flashlight sound now.
I see mixed feelings here. Bad Maki. Good,
Good
Maki.
Maki. Yeah, good
Yay.
Maki.
Tenko died instantly.
Follow the lead of Shuichi.
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly.
Yes, play your role.
I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Good Maki!
No, you. No, you.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Look who's fucking talking. Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki roll? You better apologize.
Now we're stretching it.
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary.
Idiot Kaito. Yes. He is going too far here.
Lovable idiot.
If George Lucas made the flashlight, it wouldn't have subtitles.
Just learn droid speak. Like, it's not that hard, Fody. Just do it. Beep, boop, beep, beep.
Clink.
Anyway,
What?
Tanko died
That was
so
Clank.
suddenly
Oh, yeah.
that she couldn't
Colonel
have gotten rid of the
Sanders.
sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
It also doesn't make sense.
Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
You guys almost made the sma-i noise. What? Oh, same. Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
Oh.
Has all the same letters.
I'm like, smile noise, that's a Star Wars thing I don't get, but yeah.
I was like, SMA noise? Is this a reference I should be getting? What does SMA stand for? Thank you. He's just a himbo doing his him best. Yes. Him best. Now I get it. Ooh, that was a good one.
End of day, brain no working. I get that.
Tenko during the seance.
Mine never works.
Did we just spend an hour in this game going in a circle to just agree again that Tenko also got killed?
Yep.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance?
Yes, we did.
Something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
And it's shocking that it hasn't been brought up before. Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery, like a minigame. No minigame, okay.
Non-stop debate, okay. There we go.
Sound during the seance.
Seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
Has to be.
There is something that bothers me.
The music is great.
Yes, it is.
The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed.
No, it wasn't.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song,
What song?
I heard something fall, I think.
True.
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there. I mean,
Why?
it was totally pitch black.
You'd never know if anyone was naked. Oh my god.
Seriously tough.
It was pitch black during the seance that limits what could have happened. I think Himiko remembered correctly. I also feel like I heard something fall.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary
Yes.
during the seance?
They make this a tiny bit too easy this way.
No, they don't. This is right up my alley.
It's amazing. Smell my ass. I'd rather not. But now if I see that, I know what someone's asking of me.
Yes, thank you for that knowledge.
Something fall.
And the music in this game, Yomo, is really good.
No!
Did you completely miss that?
How dark it got in there.
So much for that being too easy, huh, Tifa?
What's too easy? He literally at the end was like, oh, Himiko said it right. Something fell. And then it's like, okay, Himiko said she heard something during the song. With a truth bullet, sound during seance, like...
I heard something fall.
Okay.
Did you miss it?
I'm more concerned about how dark.
I've played video games before, right?
You missed twice. Are you okay?
Perfect, and yet it failed.
Yeah,
Apparently I'm not.
I shouldn't have mentioned that this is too easy. I think
You're
it's
giving me
true.
performance anxiety, Tifa.
I think a true jack off. Okay.
Did you see this?
I'm more concerned about
Did
how dark
you?
it got in there. I mean,
Wait, are you on kind logic? Yes. Yes, we are.
Are you joking?
You try it. Here,
What do I do?
right click the word.
Right click or hold it?
Right click.
How do I make it slow down?
I do that. Now watch her fuck it up.
I've never done this. If I miss, it's different.
I heard something
Here we go.
Oh, it missed.
Oh, not so easy now, is it?
Give me one more try. I have not done this. You have done all of the
Not
chapters.
so
up to
easy
date.
now, is it?
No, we're gonna get this.
How can you miss that twice?
You've been doing this for so long.
How can you miss that twice?
I heard something fall.
I agree.
There you go.
Finally, Tifa,
Fucking hell.
it took 2 years of consecutive streams and you finally became useful.
Because of that sound.
Imagine missing so much. How do these darn buttons work?
How do these darn buttons work? What is timing? What do you mean you have to shoot where the thing will be and not where it currently is on screen?
Yes.
Well, that was a lot of misses.
Why can't we voice old characters? Because then I could whip out that voice.
And not go for and not try to go for these really deep voices that hurt my throat after a while because I sound like a fake Batman.
Jack is bad at Danganronpa. Indeed, that's why I'm leading with the shot calling.
No, Jack is bad at video games.
Yeah, I'll take it.
It's more general than that.
Blue, 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 bang. There we go.
No, Tifa, not blue, 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 blue. Monophony didn't puke here.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard.
I'd hate to see a bathroom with aim like that. Well, Fody, that doesn't happen because there I need to use both hands.
I like how you were so daring to take a sip while before saying that.
So my excuse is the mouse is too small. Just not used to that.
Back in my day, we didn't have to use these darn buttons to shoot something with a stupid plate with BB guns like real kids.
Yeah, basically.
Back in the day, everything was nicer. The tomatoes were bigger.
That's actually something my grandparents say a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Do you remember when you were younger and the tomatoes still tasted like tomatoes?
No, it's because you've been smoking for 60 fucking years and you killed all of your taste buds.
I've never heard that. It's a line his grandfather once said.
And both of them and my grandmother too.
Because the back in the day is not just like a meme thing. His grandparents do that all the time together with his dad.
Yes. If your grandparents don't, that's fine. Mine make up for it.
What could have fallen down?
That is a good question.
There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Well, it was probably the plank moving.
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
Yeah, what was the sound? We never talked about it.
We're doing it now. I would think it was the lifting of the plank, shoving it to the side. You know, it also had a body on it, so it's quite a bit of weight.
That wouldn't sound like that. I don't think.
Well,
I don't think so.
What else would it be? That's the only thing that moved.
A shot put ball going through a vent, rolling over a staircase made of books.
Press A. Press A.
A loud sound, like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark.
The other thing that happened in the dark.
What was it? I'm confused. What other thing happened?
What? The other thing in the dark. What caused the sound?
Yes, Tifa,
I would
what
say
did
loose
cause it?
floorboard.
This is it!
Okay.
I told you it's the floorboard.
I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound.
Did they find the killer yet? Nope.
Nope. I still have a good feeling it's Korikyo, but we're not there yet.
Seance, right?
No, and I doubt there will today.
We are slow
Fair.
players.
Fair.
warning.
Groundhog. Fair. Accurate and fair.
Normal people would have played this game 3 times through.
Yeah. Some people ship Kokichi and Himiko. The only way I would ever ship Kokichi is in a box. To the middle of the ocean.
I don't really see that combo. I thought Eevee's combo of Kokichi and Miyu would have worked out better.
Nah.
Trying to imagine it, but I don't see Himiko.
Intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. There would have had to be a strong impact to make that sound. But what was it? What could it possibly be?
All right then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now.
Time for a scrum. Yomo, thank you for the clips. I won't be finishing this trial until Friday, maybe or likely next Tuesday. Yeah.
How long is this trial still? Oh
Long.
my god.
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance.
I do my best. Thank you, Yoma.
Person tore off the floorboard.
Oh, oh.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
I'm guessing it's got to do with a cross piece.
Statue fell over.
Tifa.
But that statue
I
was still
missed
on
the
top of
beginning.
cage.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone
Was
must have
wer?
stomped through the floorboard.
Stomped through it,
Oh,
no.
that's what happened to him.
Dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid.
What are the 3 bullets again?
Me and balls are the best of friends.
Oh, Mew. What would have made a strong enough impact to knock the floorboard loose? Now that I think about it, there was something off about the floor crosspiece. Yeah, it was cut. Could that have something to do with it?
So what made the floorboard come loose?
What are the 3 bullets?
The sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the
I'm
seance.
guessing this, but what could have broken it?
Off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the
I'm
wooden
confused.
statue fell over.
No, it
I
didn't.
think it's
Statue was still on top
Tsumugi's.
of the cage.
Yeah.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
No.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
I think it's Tsumugi you need to shoot it at.
Floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous.
I can see someone agree with that one.
Like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and balls are the best of friends?
Wait, what do I shoot at what?
I think you need to shoot the
The loo.
the
What?
piece you had selected already. Not this
Yes.
one, the other one. Other one. This one to what Tsumugi says.
Participated in the seance.
Alright.
Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
Just went.
That wouldn't make such a loud crack.
This game is actively sabotaging me. No. No. No.
Keep trying, keep trying. Oh shit, we aren't even at the intermission yet. Fuck, you're right.
Only one here who's staying on the
We're not even halfway.
You hardly have any experience with say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid.
And once again. Shoot, me and my balls are the best of friends with evidence of her Kibo upgrades. We can't choose that one.
Someone who participated in the maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
You're wrong, Tifa.
Oh.
Alright.
Do you get like a special dialogue if we agree with the best friends with balls?
Just got a spam email about a vaccine check, and that's just evil. Why would you do that?
Because
What do they
people
hope to
want money.
gain? I know it was spam because I got Moderna, not Pfizer.
Same as they want a game with all phishing and spam emails. Your data.
Yeah, true.
So what made the floorboard come
Alright,
loose?
so,
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the
I'm
seance.
confused as fuck.
Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
Okay, so it wasn't this.
Wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
Can you do something with
No.
that?
But that statue was
Do
still
we
on
need to
top.
agree or what do we need to do by the way? Blue is agreeing.
Floor.
Yes.
Then stood up with such might.
I'm confused.
I was wrong.
True, if the carpet would have hit it that hard.
Wait, maybe it's the dog.
Judging from the,
The
sound,
dog.
there must have been
Oh, never mind, that's
So
not
what
this.
would you like me to shoot?
No, never mind. I thought the dog was in.
Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe fell over.
That can't be it.
Statue was still on top.
Under floor. Such might.
Can't be that.
But there was no one under the floor.
Must have stomped through the floorboard.
I agree.
Wait, what? Someone stomped through.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
You what?
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
What?
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation...
How the fuck is that possible?
One of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off.
Yes.
After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Yes.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
To set up a murder.
Culprits stand to gain by cutting the cross piece.
What did they stand to gain? That's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the crosspiece and floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of a loose floorboard, and the crosspiece that had been cut was on the other end of the floorboard. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. Only one of the cross pieces was cut, the other two were intact.
But even if stomped on...
This is getting very Rube Goldberg for my taste, and I don't understand where we're going with this. You had to agree with Kokichi, Jack's worst nightmare. I don't even know what I agreed to be honest, but let's find out. One of them was right under Tenko. Okay, so
she got lifted a bit. Or
if you stomp on there, you push her up. So are you saying the sickle was inside the cage?
No.
Which also doesn't make sense, because we would have seen it. The cage has holes.
Not possible to hide.
And the other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was.
Well, if you stomp on it, it gets moved.
What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? Think, come on, think.
Oh my god.
Seesaw.
Seesaw? What?
A seesaw.
It's a seesaw. How do you spell that?
And I guess the second word is effect.
What the fuck is a seesaw?
The thing we're talking about.
I am completely out of this word.
Where two kids sit on a beam of something, in the middle there's a hinge, and then they go up and down.
A whip.
That's the word in Dutch, I believe, yes.
I have no clue. That's seriously the word for...
I'm guessing the second part is seesaw effect. Yes, it is.
I would have been...
Yes.
Completely... Yes, a whip wop. Seesaw, like, who comes up with that word?
Yo, whip wop. Anybody see a T there?
There.
I see now.
Groundhog? Thank you.
Thank you. Tifa's English starts to stink.
The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Seriously, like how often do you use the word seesaw? And where does it even come from? Now that I'm thinking about it, whip, that also doesn't make sense.
Because you see that it was sawed. I don't know the etymology of this word. I believe that's the word.
Would have been completely stuck in this one.
Well, who came up with whip wop? That's the sound it makes. Whip wop, whip wop.
Oh, that makes sense actually. Also, hey DK, happy Wednesday.
Yes.
Oh.
Please don't watch the VOD back, Jack and Tifa. I've deleted a lot today. I don't want to see anything. Don't worry, it will take a while until we get to uploading this one.
That is also true.
But thank you very much. And yeah, everybody, please, what Groundhog said. No hinting. If we need help, we will tell you.
The fuck is that the sound it makes? You might be confused as an American. But I'm also confused here, because seesaw makes just as little sense.
Yeah, the German name is Wippe. Because you are, that's the word for leaning onto something, and that's what you do on that thing, so. It makes sense in German too.
It doesn't make sense at all. In any language,
Yes.
I think. Yeah, I can't even think of a better word.
How the fuck do you spell that? Well, the way you say it, whip wop.
Let me spell that. Whip.
Yes. Yes.
Like that. Been lurking for an hour or so, just talking to someone with depression who just got off their meds and is now in a dip.
Ah, sorry to hear that.
Take care of your buddy.
Yes.
But appreciate the lurk regardless.
Yes. Give him our best regards. It will be a timer if it happens again. Yeah, feel free. Fire at will.
Yeah. Depending on how big the offense is. I'm
Yes.
also fine with the ban button.
Yes, it's there for a reason.
Actually, if it's like a new person coming in and like the first thing they say is like a giant spoiler, that's
Feel
an
free to
immediate ban, by the way.
Yes. I mean, if we disagree, we can just undo it afterwards, so.
That is true.
But highly unlikely. It's there for, yeah, it's there for a reason.
Mm.
I did have to do that once, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Just say, I love the mentality. Some people, unfortunately, cannot contain themselves, so.
That's advice for every streamer, by the way. Do not be afraid to use the ban button.
Yes.
It's your stream and don't let them hijack it
Correct.
without your consent.
Yes, it's your stream after all.
A seesaw?
With the sword comes responsibility. That sounds really deep.
Hell yeah, enjoy banning transphobes.
Yes.
And that.
They should
Someone
all
spots
be
another
banned.
time I will ban because there have been strikes. Go ahead. You have my blessing. You are forewarned. Yes.
At one end of the floorboard had been cut off.
I still don't get the seesaw thing. Are you implying that the sickle was inside the cage?
The other two cross pieces holding up that
I wanna
board
doubt that.
were close to the cage.
Okay,
I would
but
think-
wait, if that is the case, then Kurikyo murdered the person in there.
I'm gonna go with Korikyo is still the killer. I'm still convinced about that. And he has been hiding the sickle on him. Because we also made clear that the sickle is something you can hide on your body, as Maki has confirmed already. Because it's small enough. So he could have been carrying it already. But I'm not sure how this would have worked. Because then he moves the plank, goes under it with his hand and the sickle, and then goes... and then throws it under it.
What was that hand motion?
I'm like pretending we're like under it.
I think you're whip
and
whopping
then
right
I'm like
now.
trying to reach, you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, regardless. The only person that could feasibly have reason to do the seesaw effect on the plank is Korikyo. Yes, other people could have seen how the seance was supposed to be done, but he was the one drawing the salt circle, so he controlled where the person would be laying. So if somebody else had prepared the seance thing, then they might have accidentally placed her the other way around, and then she would just have fallen into the floor. Because she would have laid on the other side, like over there, to the right.
Yeah, but the rock is was definitely used for the positioning in this case, I would think. To be able to pull this off, she had to sit in a certain way. Or had to sit on a certain spot.
Yeah,
and the rock probably pinpointed that, but I don't get how the fuck he reached that after moving the plank.
Maybe he had help.
Oh, that could be. That wouldn't be the first time either.
Who put the cloak over it? It was Korikyo. Yeah, Korikyo placed the blanket.
Korikyo placed the blanket.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He was the one who put the blanket over it.
Yeah, but...
That was the question, who put the cloak over it? I answered it.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry, DK.
I've got banned in the weekend by a Danganronpa streamer because she said I was spoiling the whole time, and as a joke when she was away I said, should I spawn, and got banned. Yeah, I see why.
I can understand.
It's playing with fire.
It is. And especially in games like this, like one tiny detail can completely ruin it. Because this game is fun because you're trying to figure out what happened. Like if you already know what's going to happen, it can still be fun. But you already know the answer. There's no point guessing about it like we do now.
Yes. Did he also remove it? Yes. He did. Korekio made it.
No.
Yes.
Himiko is the one that removed it.
No, he did. He made it abundantly clear that to make sure that the thing didn't backfire, it would have to be done in the same order. So the 4 people had to remove the dog statue, and then he removed the blanket.
Yeah, true.
Which also made it so that we didn't see the blood.
True, you're right. But still, I don't see how this happened.
Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever.
But wouldn't he fall?
Oh my god, I figured it out.
Then he lifted the cloth.
No.
Did it through it or what?
The sickle was in between the blanket and the cage.
Oh, he hid it there
placed,
and then...
Yes, he placed the sickle above her head pointing into the cage and put the... Jack just said it. DK? 2 smart people, 1 brain. He put the sickle so that the blade pointed into the cage, put the blanket over it, then we placed the statue on top. That's why it was important that it was so heavy, so that it wouldn't move.
Yeah, okay.
Then he seesawed her into it.
Yeah.
And that's why he made sure that he was the one who moving the blanket because it was dark. And he let it slide into the space he created in the floorboard.
When he removed the blanket, the lights were on.
Yeah, so?
He couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle while the lights were on and without moving... or without anyone seeing that he grabbed something and threw it under the boards. If anything, he would have had to grab it at this point, after she got stabbed, threw it through the gap, and then went back.
Jack, who was the second smart person? Me. Should get a point for that.
Capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Her whole body
Has to be Korekio.
I did not see this coming.
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
Oh my god, Shuichi even called it earlier. The statue is as heavy as 2 girls. I don't think that was just a dumb way of going around for, oh, they really couldn't into pounds. It was to make sure to convey the message. This thing is heavier than the average person here.
Oh, yeah, I'm with Yomo on this one.
Oh, yeah.
This one hurt my brain, to be honest.
Like that, unless they use the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
My brain also hurts. Yes. But in a good way, I hope. Pretty sure you can just grab the handle of a sickle upon grabbing the cloth and quickly pull it away. Plenty of magicians do similar things. Yeah, sleight of hand kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because we are focused on watching him remove a blanket because he made sure that we are focused on everybody doing the same things we did to set it up.
But do you really want to risk the fact that you have to make sure they don't see it and throw it under the floorboard and the sound that it could imply?
Yes. Yes.
Because it was leaning against a wall, which means it hit a wall, which means we would have heard it.
In order for
we wouldn't have listened.
With a seesaw trick.
You really want to risk your life and the entire trying to get away with murder
Yes.
on the fact that people might not hear
The
it.
sickle is the most important factor.
The floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusions can I draw from this? Bet I need another short break.
Okay, that's a conclusion I can
That's the conclusion I come to. Be right back.
follow. BRB.
Welcome for wanting sushi, no?
Yeah, blah, blah, sushi.
This stream brought to you by sushi.
I'll pass, but more for you guys.
Ooh, maybe I'll order sushi tomorrow.
Good.
Maybe not. There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. Where's the sickle been when Tenko was killed?
It's either next to the cage or the top.
That's it.
What did you pick? Next?
Top of a cage.
The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down.
Suddenly cold.
Is the heating still on?
No.
Why did you turn it off? Imagine it being cold in here and Tifa turning off the heating. Damn, y'all are sponsored by the entire concept of sushi? Impressive. I wish. I wish.
I'd rather be sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Yeah, true. No, they can get it for free.
Okay. Sushi, you need to pay. Suddenly I like sushi.
Suddenly I love seaweed. Why do you hate seaweed?
The reason we didn't see it
Not tasty.
was because of the fabric covering the cage.
But how did we not see it when we put the cage there? Didn't it also have holes at the top? I was quite sure it did.
It does.
Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble. But the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw,
I'm confused.
Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the
I am more confused about how he managed to put it there with all of us watching him closely.
She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
This is fucked up, by the way.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim.
It kind of is.
Definitely an unorthodox idea.
Why is Kibu appreciating the engineering behind this?
I can appreciate it in a sick way, but the first thing I thought of
Explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
while looking at this is that I would probably fall.
Kokichi or
Slip through.
Korikyo?
Korikyo.
But why him?
Everything points to Korikyo instead of Kokichi. He's the one that set it all up.
The sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
Also, this needs precision, and by using the stone, he made sure she was in the exact right position to make sure she would get stabbed. It's Korikyo, I'm telling you.
Where's Tenko in this?
Saving? You should. Yes, we should.
We should indeed. Where is Tenko? Why can't I find her? There she is. Okay, yeah, it is Korikyo.
What makes you...
That she weighs 115 pounds. Unless he jumped and stomped down Super Mario style, it would have been Kokichi. It can't have been Kokichi.
Yeah, but it's still possible.
Have you ever been on a whip wop?
Yeah, but
Seesaw
if he
for normal
jumps,
people?
it's possible. That extra force would have still done it. She doesn't need to fly up to the moon. It's just a bit. And it's Korikyo, because he is the one that set all of this up.
She's dead, Jack. She's not there. Yeah, unfortunately. Kokichi would do no such thing. Sure.
Kokichi is more someone that looks the cat out of the tree, but
Tifa, stop trying to make this one a thing. It
I've
doesn't
already
work.
explained this wisdom. I can use it. It makes sense too.
Whip wop, that's so funny. Yeah, it's Dutch.
A whip up. with an A instead of an O.
Yeah, true. It's hard as fuck to move someone heavier than you.
Yeah, but here you have extra force. It makes sense.
So you think he drop kicked the ground?
No, I think it's Korekiyo. You're the one that wants it to be Kokichi.
Of course I want to be Kokichi.
It's a beautiful plan and I like it a lot. Yeah, fair. But due to it being so elaborate, it's very difficult to hide all the parts. Also very true.
Have you heard about shot put balls?
And I would think if I was the one that did this, I would kind of like fall on my ass, or the plank would move and then I fall through the floorboard. Yeah, something stupid.
In the dark, I would step on the wrong floorboard part and just make a stomping sound and nothing happens. Or I would do it with one leg and kind of like go through my leg, because like one is on a steady floorboard, the other just goes down, and like pull a muscle or something. So.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Little shit can't even jump a little.
Good old-fashioned seesaw homicide.
Groundhog? Thank you.
Oh,
Didn't see what happened there, but I see what button you pressed, so thank you.
I only saw the beginning, but thank you.
People have been warned.
What the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
Or just break the board due to the large amount of forces on either side. Yeah.
True. Whoever did this must have checked the floor first, because if this is like really old, like rotten almost wood, then depending on the weight of the victim, you would have just snapped the floorboard in half.
Yeah, but that's a risk you take, no?
Really? And you want people to turn on the lights again with your ass stuck in the ground?
Well, there's no other way.
We brushed over Mio's best line.
The seesaw homicide.
What? A good... What?
How many homicides on a seesaw do you know?
A whip-wop.
A shiny Drifloon, Yomo. What arm? I don't know how you do this. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Let Tifa's jealousy be your fuel. The wind under your wings, if you will.
Yomo has so many shinies.
Stop being jelly.
I am jelly.
What really makes the killing game fun, you know?
No, Kokichi.
They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
This fucking kid, man.
No.
I'm sorry.
Well played, Himiko.
Himiko!
Yeah?
How Himiko? I'm sorry, have you ever played on a seesaw? Himiko! No. She's even lighter than Kokichi. That doesn't work unless somebody pushes down on her shoulders.
Himiko wouldn't have been able to set this up. I have, by the way, never seen a shiny Drifloon, but I'm gonna look that up.
Do it.
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
What?
It is Korekiyo. I am telling you, at every corner he's been trying to put the blame to someone.
Yeah.
He keeps acting like, oh, why didn't this work? Who picked the room? Oh no, why didn't this work?
Also, why did he do
Could this
it?
have been done?
Why did he kill her?
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
To be honest, I think he would have killed anyone that would have been the spiritual medium.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared before.
And Himiko picked the room.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Also, not true. The pieces are cut everywhere.
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim
Yeah, but we know.
to a prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
That's wrong.
And this is also why he let someone else pick the room. It is Korekiyo. Fuck that, I'm getting my point.
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
Even though Angie still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we still need to solve that whole case.
Oh,
They found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
I suddenly remembered we're not even halfway.
About
Yeah.
the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
True.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time.
Are we going with it's another magic trick, so it has to have been her?
Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it.
Koikyo confirmed.
She killed Tenko, all according to plan.
No.
Tifa, I think the part where he is the one who had the most opportunity to place and remove the sickle is plenty enough to convict him.
Yes.
I also agree.
Pretty much.
What is
Yes,
it with
sir.
you guys and adding points before the coin has landed? I didn't add a point yet. I meant as in I'm gonna get my point, as in I'm gonna be right.
Yes.
And I will earn my point.
And even if you're so sure that it will come true, you can already do it. You just have to scratch it out later.
No, scratching it out is gonna be confusing though.
You're confusing.
I can be.
Himiko did such a thing?
What are your facts to back that up? Other than the fact that you picked a room.
I feel like we keep running in circles.
Tragically killed her.
This is another one of those moments where I'm sitting here thinking, why is the main character not going like, sorry guys, we actually did an investigation of the rooms and you're wrong. And Kokichi, you are actually the person who fell through the floor in the other room?
If this was an actual debate,
We don't know that.
in
right?
this situation, everyone would be shouting over one another.
I hate Kokichi so much.
Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
He himself had a
Back
goddamn
in.
concussion before we went into this place. He was bleeding profusely from the head, from the wound.
Yeah, lucky us, because that's how we know all of the rooms were prepared.
Yeah, and now he forgot again. How? Convenient.
Kill Tenko?
Didn't we already accuse her though?
Kill Tenko?
Himiko?
And breakdown incoming.
Because he hit his head? That's not... In my experience, that's not how it works.
I love Kokichi more than you,
Wrong,
Aiden.
Himiko?
Well, someone's gotta love him.
It's true. It is true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea, but does that really mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? Would something like that really happen? Something so cruel?
I really thought in the beginning that the one who picked the room would have been it. Intermission! Halfway. Fuck yeah.
Time to finally save the game. Do you want to save? No. We're finishing it now. Always double save.
We made it.
Damn this game. Damn this game.
Okay, so now we're still not sure about who killed Tenko in the game. And we still have to cover Angie as well. Which we only did like partially.
We've
with the
done
door.
nothing for Inu.
Oh yes, we figure out the door.
Yes, true. The one part we talked or that we solved for Angie's case is how you locked the door from the inside. By spinning. Whee!
Another week and you're finally done with the trial. It does sound about right, but I
Potentially,
think
yes.
Tuesday should be the end of the trial with how we're going now.
If we're lucky this Friday, but I think Groundhog hit the nail on the head when she said Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we spent two streams.
Just
Well,
getting here.
Just getting here, yeah. Well, 1 and 3/4. We also did the investigation yesterday.
True. That is very true.
But yeah, either the culprit will be known Friday or Tuesday.
Indeed.
So Friday we shall be back with another Danganronpa stream, and Sunday, already a heads up, we won't be doing Freddy Fish, we will be having Jack's birthday stream.
Well, Tifa, Motonard accurately points out that it all depends on how often I'm actually gonna hit next time.
That was quite bad.
I would like to say anything in my defense, but I don't have anything here, right?
It was only that one though. I'm not sure why.
And the other one, because that one literally dodged my shot.
Yeah, okay, but that one went wee.
I feel humiliated. No. Okay, 2 weeks still went under the travel.
Also, I can say things, but I give no guarantee. Could be next month, who knows?
Tifa, both of those statements are correct because Tuesday is next month. She should have thought of that earlier, but she didn't. I mean, you weren't even supposed to hit that one. Yeah, but still.
Which makes it even worse that we missed.
True, true. But still. Yeah. How about we go say hi to someone who actually does hit his shots? Because Skinner is streaming Destiny 2, something he is very passionate about.
Let's go have a look.
I don't have more for a segue, Tifa. You can jump in and help now.
That's alright. So much effort for so little reward.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
C'est la vie.
I still wonder what's gonna happen to Korikyo next. Did he also kill Angie? Because I don't know.
I do think we're going with a double murder and that Angie was also killed in that room. It's a bit of a coincidence that 2 people get killed at the same spot now. Why else would there be 2 blood patches and 1 being dried blood?
True. Yeah, you do have a point there.
There is no other way than that she got killed there.
I feel humiliated. Thank you, the clip, Yomo.
It's probably gonna be maybe him setting up.
It's probably gonna maybe him.
No, I was gonna think that maybe Angie walked in on him, but that's also not an option because what the fuck would she be doing there?
Tifa, I had to cut you short, but we got a raid. Press the button.
Okay, yeah, pressing the button. Then I
press it now.
Whoa, there.
Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be back on Friday with hopefully the rest of us class trial. See you then. Bye.
Thank you, thank you.